Yeah, that was...
Looked like it shielded Potemkin from the bomb.
It kind of did, right?
I think that's might have what had happened. Mega Fist does it. The Gual can't get the burst out in time. Did have it available. Oh! Okay, so he took the Jaguar helmet off mid-set.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, I really can't see. Like, I was trying to be cute, but he's like, you know, rather win than be cute.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rather win than be cute. I get it.
Yeah, because, you know, that's only for the VOD, but for the Star GG, you want to get the W.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got the VOD moment already, right?
Yeah.
You started up, you saw the Jaguar head, it's fine, right, at that point. Now, need the result to back it up. Well done from Giant. Good name.
It is. I was thinking, wrong answers only, what does DKWA stand for?
Oh, God.
And I was thinking, if that was the person with the King cosplay,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong with armor.
What? This man bonanzaing everybody? He's gonna bonanza somebody to death? Digging in the mines? All right. We need Coney here for that. Coney, I watch your streams, dog. I watch the Donkey Kong Bonanza streams. To be fair, he's probably here somewhere. I don't know. He was here last year. Big ups to Coney always.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, Coney be coming through. Even though, you know, we don't do as much of the platform side of things as we once did. Coney definitely still be coming through the Evo. Always showing love to Coney. But yes, indeed. Next up, going to be one of the heavy hitters. I think one of the favorites to go quite far in this tournament today is going to be Kazam, which if you are familiar with them, then let's say you were just starting in Strive, right? You were paying attention at the beginning. Maybe you fell off for a little while, just getting back into it. You may know him as a Milia player, but this man is Johnny all day, every day now. Kazam, for a while now, since this character has come out, he's been really trying to put the forefront on Johnny. And ever since the character has obviously gotten some love as well, it's been his primary choice of lethality. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because you say that, and I did a little bit of research every now and again, you know, on some of the players that I know I'm going to commentate.
Yeah.
And I did the lazy research, but I always back up with the good stuff.
Okay.
So I just typed in Gear Strive Kazam.
Yeah,
and
of
it
course.
said, oh, proficient player in America that plays minion. I was like,
wait a minute.
that ain't right.
Wait a minute.
So I had to
Seems
do that.
like some artificial intelligence is trying to lie to me right now.
It did. It did.
Indeed,
Nearly
right.
got me. Nearly got me, and then I thought, no, I know better. I've seen Kazam. I think they won one of the Defender Norths in...
Oh, that sounds about right, yeah.
The one defender, I think it must have been last year.
Yeah.
2024, yeah. And obviously it had some really good placings. Boston Blue beat as well.
And then, of course, to make you guys all the more confused, there's both characters on the screen now.
Oh,
Johnny
my God.
and Milia. Because it's looking like his opponent is playing Milia. Of course, this is just button check, though. But yeah, if you're ever sitting there, if you're ever new to the streams and whatnot, you're wondering which player plays on which side, the player farthest from the camera is usually the first player playing.
Oh, is that tech?
Right.
I did not know that.
Because, you know, it's a little bit tough sometimes because they're like opposite of the way we're facing, so it can be confusing. But yes, the person farthest away from the camera is usually the first player side.
Bro, you learn something new every day.
Yes, indeed, bro. Yes, indeed. At least when it's set up like from this angle, you know what I mean? From the other side, then we get confused. But nonetheless, Kazam versus who's the opponent? O-Gap? Oh, man, O-Gap. Omega Gap. It's the only thing I ever think of the O stands for.
Omega, I mean, it's a powerful word. It's a powerful word.
Unless he's just from O-Block. Remember, imagine if he's from O-Block in Chicago and they call him O-Gap? Oh, my Lord, that'd be fire. But right now, Kazam is doing what we know him for, right? Just complete Johnny wreckage to start the match. And what a snipe right before the disc got active. That was such good awareness. Again, Kazam's going to know this matchup like the back of his hand because of how long he played Milia.
Yep.
So, good luck, man.
Yeah, I mean, AI told me. ChatGPT said Milia player.
Yeah,
so
right.
they're going to know this matchup inside and out, and they're showing that with a double perfect.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. He is Kratos. He is the God of War who forgot how to lose. Oh, my goodness. You can see it in the top left, just in case you're like, what the hell does that mean, Ringe? The game says it itself. Yeah, for those that don't know, when you get a double perfect, the text that pops up is the God of War who forgot how to lose, which is like one of the hardest bars in any fighting game ever.
It's up there.
Yeah, legitimately.
OGAP. What does OGAP stand for? OG Willikers. Ain't prepared? I don't know.
This is an OG Willikers fellow, that's for sure. That is very high on the Caucasian slang tier list. OG Willikers, definitely.
I want someone to say it without laughing. I'm waiting.
Oh, man.
I need to find that individual, please.
That's high. That's like right next to listen here, buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah, and Bucko.
You have to say both of those words with gritted teeth. Like, yeah, the team have to be together, glued together.
Oh, man. And now Kazam here, still looking just so clean. Oh, Gap, nope. Starting to find maybe some hits, starting to navigate this neutral a little bit more. At least that's what they're doing so far. But again, we talked about it, right? Kazam just ready at every angle to shut down Milia. Oh, and then again, from the top rope, the overhead misfinder cracking open the hat.
Oh, your toes.
Damn.
Yeah, shit. No. Not in these boots. Not in these Uggs.
Yeah, definitely not. He's cost too much. Oh, nice job. In the rows afterwards, the flex shield to nullify the entirety of the mix-up. Again, that's what we talked about. Kazam's matchup knowledge, the way he knows how to nullify like the entirety of the Milia game plan at a given moment is just so potent.
And you've got that, I like to call it the winner's momentum, where when your opponent, who's been getting double perfected, right, the first game, when they get in, they're not even thinking about your defensive options. They're trying to stay in.
Yeah,
so that deflect shield is basically guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? That's something that I always like talking about is when like somebody finally gets the hit, you know they're too thirsty to give up their turn. So usually an active defensive choice is going to work out.
Mirage step, into danger though.
Oh my goodness, that fadeaway just completely convert the combo at the proper spacing, get the knockdown in the corner, the card's falling. That means you can't move. Will the wall break? Not quite, I was going to say. I was like, will the wall damage do her in?
Oh, try to show him the road. Said nah.
Not today, fam. Well done yet again, Kazam. Up 2-0 now here on set point. Oh my goodness, just showing him the flames. 4 times in a row, Kazam at this point, he's like, I'm not going to expend any more brain power, making it across this set. At this point, you got to deal with my ignorance. Good luck.
Oh, gap, don't get gapped. What's the option? Oh, it's inevitable, though. That's one of the things with Johnny, though. 3 perfects, 3 Ps.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say, we ended it the way we started it. Kazam went right back, full attack mode. Man's just like looking at the camera like, bro, like what was I supposed to do up against that? He knows my character. He played him before Johnny came out. That's tough, right? That's one of the definitely the heartbreakers that you could happen. Entering any tournament, really, right? As you run into somebody that's not only extremely strong, but has played your character in the past. It is tough to overcome that.
It is. I think you can give yourself like a mental block, like, well, I probably saw them do this, so this isn't gonna work. It's like, no. Test them first. They might have forgot. Yeah. Probably not. Kazam's pretty good. But you know how it is. 100%.
So big ups to Kazam. You're going to be moving on in winners as well. I don't know if we got the matchup set up already. I think we're getting it maybe set up. Maybe we're going straight to it. But the Chipotle extra matches are back and in full effect for this Evo, right? Which is basically a setup that we have that can be streamed on the side of the usual stream setup, right? So usually in this instance where there might be a break or we have to do some downtime killing, it's going to be another match instead. So yeah, we should get to that fairly quickly here. So the matches are going to be streamed Friday and Saturday, right? So it's definitely going to be a good one to see. Matches that would otherwise go unseen. You're not going to usually see them unless it's for the Chipotle extra match. So big ups to Chipotle as per usual, man.
That is always a blessing, man. I had a plan, and I might do it tomorrow, where I brought like an extra phone. Okay. And I was going to go around the ball stations and just record some matches. Yeah. Or screen matches that you don't get on stage that just go to the passage of time and like, what was the score? It was 3-0, but it was close. Yeah. I will be the person to decide if it's close because I'll be there recording. That's what I wanted to do. But Chipotle stole my idea.
Yes. Okay. Hey, thank you, Chipotle, so much. And can I get a Chipotle card for perhaps, I won an entire event at Evo. I didn't just make it out of my pools. I am now the reigning defending Evo Jeopardy champion. I was able to defeat both Jadalyn and Vicious.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
That's
they're knowledgeable people, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
Destroyed them.
I didn't want you to take disrespect from me being so surprised.
I didn't take it like that.
I thought about, why did I act like that? My bad.
Like, damn, son. Range, you're kind of dumb, bro. Like, you actually want. Imagine just come up with that. But honestly, I don't know if you've ever watched Jeopardy, but they have a before and after category. Where where you have to, like, give 2 answers combined. And they could. I'm a game show watching fella, so I was ready. They were mind effed by that moment, right? Because like the very first question was like, what is Terry's projectile and what is the way Mishima's move across the screen? So the answer is power wave dash. You see how it works now?
Okay.
But if you're not used to that, even once you get the concept, it's not easy to put it together off rip. Like, I'm lucky that I've watched a lot of game shows that have been used to that. But yeah, it was like that, like power wave dash type joy.
Yeah, we don't in the UK we don't have anything like Jeopardy.
Oh,
Jeopardy's
okay.
the only one. But I remember the concept of Jeopardy because it's so unique to us.
Yes.
But yeah, the fusion of two answers.
It's
can
tough.
be kind of weird.
It's tough to wrap your brain around for sure. Like another one was like the 1v1 baseball game and the IP that 2XKO is built on. So it was Lethal League of Legends.
That's sick.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they just weren't used to that. So I definitely cashed in heavy right there because I knew what the answers were. But nonetheless, here it looks like we are gonna get to that Chipotle extra match. It's gonna be Kosher Salt versus Rad Parade. My goodness, bro. I just watched the Suicide Squad again recently. So
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Rat Catcher. Is this going to be like a Rat Catcher successor, bro? Rat Parade? We shall see. Kosher Salt on the other end.
Oh, Unica?
I rode over the Unica. I can't imagine. Are we going to see it?
Bro, I love this.
Are we going to see it? I would hope so.
Unica is cheap.
I want to see her full action, bro.
Solely because Stun Dipper with no RC needed.
Oh, man.
It's just safe, bro.
It's just safe.
It's just safe.
Do it.
I am a fan. I don't know why I love Stun Dipper so much. Maybe because as a Leo player, I'm always crack blocking, so I love everyone else.
Right? Yeah. When most people are trying to like wiggle at a certain area and get clipped, you're like, I'm just already down back. I'm charging my plastic, so they're just getting punished, right? But
exactly.
It doesn't look like we are going to get that. Hopefully we do get Unica later. Right now, it looked like it might be the Giovanna, and it is.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking at the screen going, who is playing? There is no one in the
Yeah.
But yeah, the matches isn't coming from the stage.
Yeah, precisely. This is the Chipotle extra match. You can see at the bottom of your screen right there, presented by Chipotle. This match would have not been on stream otherwise because this is not the stream station, right? This is actually another setup that we have direct footage captured from because of Chipotle. So big up to them. We're going to get this live and in full effect. Giovanna versus Testament as well. Really two cool characters to watch in this extra match.
Yeah, there's definitely an alternate universe me that plays Testament.
I feel that.
I really like Testament. The zoning is
Oh, let's
I think that's funny that you said that because like there's definitely a timeline where I play Giovanna. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I can actually see it.
Yeah, Giovanna was one of the characters that I was actually really interested in when the game first came out. So glad to see that still being potent. Right there, taking the first round.
It's funny because I think your reason is better than mine. Mine was like, oh, Gio sounds like Leo. And then before Leo came out, I was like, oh, I guess I'm a Leo player.
That's great. That's a wild reason to play a character for sure. You really just on that Nitro tip, huh? Jacko, Gio, Leo, you guys just like your O's, huh? All right?
Let's remember that.
Right now, the Rat Parade going to use the burst, try to stay alive. They want to surrender that momentum from Kosher Salt, but nice anti-air, put her full screen as well, but gets in with that 4S. The dash in, 4H, excuse me.
The pin will into 2K. It's pretty clean link, especially from, I think Testament was grounded there as well. Yeah, normally, like, add out of the air, it's way easier to do, obviously, because you've got the time. But yeah, that was a pretty slick stuff.
Yeah. All tied up here, both players. Been pretty even so far. Got the stain up, and again, let's jab it. I love that, actually. Just putting the jab up while you have the opponent stained, so you get a combo afterwards, even just from checking them. Nonetheless, here, Rat Parade has done a good job. I was just going to say, putting up a wall, preventing Giovanna from getting in. Oh, no. Oh, punished heavily. Yeah, that is not like the guard break plus frame super from Testament. So you've been punished severely. The whole round victory going to Kosher Salt.
It was weird because I feel that might be the only situation where I've seen the Testament put a stain on their opponent and then be scared.
Yeah, right?
Because it's Gio. It's like, well, the Gio's looking at you going, I know you want to press a button.
Yeah.
I know you want to activate the stage. And the Testament's like, no, I don't. I promise.
Oh, man. I was thinking about that. Why would you think I would think that? I was thinking that.
Absurd. I would never consider such an option.
Right now, breakdance fighting, of course. Dash beforehand. Zoolander to follow. That's plus frames. Oh my, bro, right in the gut.
Brazen button presses, but, you know, that is the GO8.
Absolutely.
It is the GO8.
That's the type of player you have to be to play this character effectively, like legitimately, right? Like sometimes you just gotta believe in your big buttons, believe in your forward momentum into normal. I just saw a big believer right now, even using the wild assault to extend for the corner and the wall break.
BRC, maybe catch a bad dash, never mind, don't need to. Dash up S, late burst.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like Kosher Salt was initially trying to block that burst, but because of the delay, Rat Parade found it successfully, but still can't find a way out of the corner. Big speed. Ran some reprieve.
Okay, can we keep Geo out? It's going to be hard. Oh, it whiffed. That's going to be your scheme. The slowdown. I think Rapray tried to challenge.
Hey.
Super hard to do with the slowdown. It's one of those things where you think, oh, let me get a button out quickly before they react to what state I'm in. Yeah. But sometimes the best thing to do is just counter with your ass.
Yes, absolutely, right? Like, when you got that clock above your head, it's like the opponent's got the Shinigami eyes, right? Like, they can see when your life is about to be ended. So you got to make sure you hit them right back with it, or else it's going to be tough.
They don't need your real name. They've got the game attack up there.
Yeah, exactly.
The game attack.
The game attack at the time. Just counting down, bro.
All right, Grave Reaper. Grave Reaper's a good tool against Geo because you're like, oh yeah, her dash is so strong. Yeah. But then Geo shows you, oh, I've got air game too.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, it's tough. You want to shut down the ground game first up against Giovanna, but yeah, she's got a very quick and advancing, punishing air approach. That's really the key to it. It's not too tricky, but once you overly commit on the ground, that's what you can really open you up in the air. Right now, Kosher Assault, I mean, all the momentum has gone to their side so far. Once again, setting up shop, gets the frame trap, and gets the set. 3-0, Iron Grid zone.
Kosher going in. Real hot with that match. No dilly-dallying. I'm trying to think of all the... I'm trying to top these words. I can't do it. I have to stop.
Trying to think of the other ones at the top tier, top tier slaying list. We'll get to them eventually. We'll get to them eventually, of course. But right now, what we're going to get to is a quick love to our sponsors, of course. Once again, this event wouldn't be possible, especially on this scale, without the various partners, White Claw, Chipotle, etc. We're going to show them some love before getting back to the Guilty Gear Strive. Don't go anywhere.
I am going to go.
New Chipotle honey chicken brings a hint of pure.
Now. We're going to go to UNI2.
It though by Sudaneko, the Japanese region team kill.
Yeah, that, I mean, very high seed too, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, see the top 16.
It happens. I mean, like they all lost their winners matches.
Yep.
So that's what happens. But yeah, great stuff. Had quite a lot of Merkavas, a lot of interesting region stuff. Hopefully the next blog is fun too. Oh, I know it will be, but I don't know. Ours was pretty banger.
Ours was pretty good.
Like,
we had a lot of the Japanese, but there's still a couple more Japanese players that I think are going to be on the other side of top 128. So do not tune out of the Under Night 2 stream. That is it for this top 128 block. Coming up next is more top 128 action to push down to that top 24. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch y'all in a little bit.
Chipotle honey chicken brings a hint of pure honey and.
Let's see. Are they doing Grand Blue right now? Okay. Nothing.
So that's the thing about Team Scrum.
Let's extend the lineup. Nope, I cannot watch that one right now. Why by extending?
Another Olympia. Who would have guessed that the fighting game character is so popular at the world's largest fighting game tournament? But our first Rano we've seen in a hot minute.
Yeah. No. Might be the first one today.
I think it is the first
one. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's was definitely much more popular of a character. Received some nerfs. Still incredibly strong.
Yeah,
but
still very strong. Rano is just very fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
You are looking for your ninja archetype. I've got long limbs. They're really active, but I might be a little bit I'm slower in the air. You got good dash speed, good active hitboxes, but you can't just fling. Well, you can actually fling yourself around. I just haven't explained that part yet. That being said, we are at round 1 pools, which everyone knows at Evo is just we're gonna find out what happens. How much does Jer Bear know? How much does Neilio know?
Yeah, I mean, so far it's looking like Neilio or Neil Leo, it's hard to say. Either way, I mean, this Olympia's out here cooking.
Yeah.
And Jerry Bear really hasn't been able to get much going.
No.
You know, needs to get this Olympia off stage, right? I mean, Rano's so good at edge guarding. Especially you refresh your invincibility.
Drop some bear.
Exactly.
Do it again. Yeah.
But not even getting the chance, getting dunked across the stage, comboed into the gem eruption here. Oh, almost gets spiked as well.
I need to see Jerry Bear prove that we know how to do the Rano bubble recoveries.
Yes.
Right now I'm seeing a lot of up special, which is just like, if you know what's coming, I can just deal with it. As soon as we get like the tongue slingshots off of bubble and everything, that's when Rano goes from like a pretty bad recovery to, oh, you might have the best recovery.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really hard to stuff out, especially because then he starts pulling the bubble out and then not even slinging to it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the
like,
second level.
It's like, oh,
I prepared on stage for the sling and you just went to ledge. All right.
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't even think Jerry Bear knows how to wave dash.
Oh, I saw one.
Just saw one. All right, cool. We're in business. But definitely looking a little bit slower on the movement side of things, not getting much dash dancing. Does a little wave dash forward tilt there.
A lot of the spots that I've seen Emilio take, though, are just Jerry Bear's very committal. It's the, like, I'm going to drop down on you, and I will always do it. I will always do the aerial. But Emilio's also, I've seen some, like, whiff spacing stuff. I think they're both newer, and that's totally fine.
And that's perfectly okay.
That is, I get really excited when I see players that are
I like
newer.
seeing new players.
Because it means that other people are checking out the game and they're like, you know what, this might not be my main game. This might not be like the game I'm putting a ton of time into, but I still like it. I still want to like support the scene and show up.
Because even when I pulled up a little stat check on both of these players, I wasn't able to find anything for rivals, but their names did pop up. They are definitely playing platform fighters or at least fighting games. And so they definitely made a little bit of a sidebar to go ahead and see what's going on in Rivals of Ether 2 land. And I'm glad that they're here.
I've heard that from a lot of people this weekend. There's so many folks that are crazy.
How to work
could
out
not
real
have been
quick.
intentional.
Sometimes you got to stretch it out.
Sometimes you do. You just got to stretch it out first.
Listen, I get it. Being in my 30s now, sometimes you just gotta. The
I had to
arthritis
stretch
comes
it
quick.
out this morning. During that 15-minute break, I had to go stretch it out again. I got to do a lot of stretch breaks. I'm 32.
Oh.
I can't sit at the table for too long before I'm like, my back.
It starts settling in. Yeah, you gotta. Let me tell you, for y'all young bucks out there watching this stream, it comes at you quick. Don't say, oh, you know, I'm gonna start going to the gym later. Do it now. Do it now. It's a game of maintenance. And so the moment you allow yourself to slip, you're already at a very steep disadvantage.
I've been going to the gym. I did not start that early enough. I should have been doing that sooner.
And if you're not going to the gym, at the very least, do forearm and wrist exercises for all you gamers out there.
For the gamers, yes.
It'll help you out in the long run.
Yep. Wait. Ooh, Rano up tilt, a magical move, especially in fast fallers.
Yeah. And then you start moonwalking it, and you really start feeling good. Start slinging yourself halfway across the screen.
Yeah. It doesn't happen nearly as much now because they changed how some of the
they nerfed it
hitboxes
a bit.
work. But on release, when I would see a Rano do reverse up tilt away from me and still hit and combo off of it, I was like, maybe this move is a little egregious. Just maybe.
Might be a tad over to
I think he's in a much more reasonable place now.
I agree.
Both of these characters.
They definitely reeled him in a fair amount. And he's definitely incredibly strong.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Still in the crystal?
The snipe from downtown!
All the way into the end zone.
We got an NBA Jam style dunk into that one.
That was wild. I mean, have you ever seen someone dunk from the 3-point line?
From the top ropes in basketball, apparently, where we've now invented top rope basketball.
Hey, listen, it's a new time.
It's that trampoline basketball. What is it called? Slam ball.
Slam ball. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, and just like that, I mean, hey.
No rat trick.
Neilileo,
I think the gem may have been broken too recently.
Yeah.
I need to double check.
Gonna come down there, maybe do a focus attack, a lot of dash attack. I mean, I think that's the most frustrating thing when you're starting to learn how to fight against Olympia, that it feels like you're getting constantly pestered by this dash attack over and over, and it never feels like you can get away because her burst speed is so fast. Oh, that hurts. Oh, you're gonna survive that forward air though, even with that DI. Nice try. Oh, wow. That's too early, yeah.
Honestly, brave. Although we've only seen like attempts at sweet spots. We've just seen direct up airs. That's the first time I've seen a move beat Olympia up special.
And boom. Oh, the reverse hit though gives another chance here for Jerry Bear.
Into the bottle. All right.
Yeah, this time the reverse hit's going to just straight knock you out.
Yup. Jab pressure.
Oh, nice use of the gem there as well. Really good against floor hugs. Honestly, just dash in and then come in with a down air or something.
If you're coming from fighting games, this is the character where it's like, do you play Ken in Street Fighter? Do you want to mash and out of disadvantage?
Yeah.
You got your equivalent of low forward. You've got your down tilt. That's basically a low forward drive rush. You've got your jab, which is just jab.
And then if you want a neutral skip, man, you just throw the gem and you dash. Wow, that forward strong was crazy.
Why did he go that? What's up, Trevor?
Yeah,
how you doing, Trevor?
We need to take a look at that one real quick. That was insane. I do know Ronald got some long legs, though. So maybe,
I'm sure
perhaps,
it was like a hitbox extension kind of thing, but it looked silly for sure.
That was absurd.
It looked silly for sure. All right. Congrats to Neilio for moving on.
Yeah. Well played
from
Vanilleo there.
Yep.
Jared Barrett. Valiant fight effort. I always like to give, because, you know, credit to the person who loses. Because, one, you put yourself out there.
Yes.
You know, it's a very daunting thing to go an event like this. Go to
Evo?
Evo? Yeah.
Dude, I get nervous when I play on stream anywhere, let
Same.
alone, like, dude, you're on the Evo stream?
I
don't care which stage you're on. It's
alone
crazy.
in my house. You know, I remember I hopped in, the ranked ladder had just reset.
Yep.
I hopped into ranked. My first, or like second match, me versus Zeus. I'm like, bro,
GG's.
why are we playing?
GG's.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Did not go well. But it's fine, because that's what it's all about.
I don't get the ranked nerves, but I think that might just be because I stream and do other stuff. But like,
I get ranked nerves against good
nerves.
players.
I get tourney nerves for sure.
They're different beasts for sure. There's something about being next to the person, the environment, the air, the gamer must in the atmosphere. It all.
Let's see what else is on. Is it Street Fighter 6 still on?
Himself was like, oh, we didn't do anything with him. Were people talking about JP as the best character in the game before Kakaru won Capcom Cup, you know?
A little bit of confirmation bias there. The power of love also played a part, all right? When your wife tells you that's your character, you better, like, you gotta go win the tournament. Like, that's, I don't know. And he put Mai in his pocket for that. I mean, Kakaru is such a calculated player, so seeing that, I think JP is still in an excellent spot. He has everything, and JP is as strong as his pilot.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that he's back into this position here, because honestly, you know, in Season 1 when JP came out, a lot of people were salty because they had fought a character like this before in Street Fighter, and he was strong. Don't get me wrong, Amnesia was, you know, like
really?
that. Yeah. But the thing about it is, what made me sad is he is such a cool character that I'm glad. I was sad that everybody kind of gained this like, I hate JP kind of thing, because he's so sick. And so I'm glad that, you know, we're in a position where he's strong again and the JP players can really do work like DCQ here.
And this is going to be one of the harder matches, I would say, for Guile to duke out. This is one that really plagued NuckleDo early on, playing the Guile into the JP. It is possible, but you're fighting against one of the best JPs in the world, and you're already almost in burnout. This is the battle you have to win, the battle of attrition.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that was a nice interrupt, actually.
Yeah, Sam Lykic to stop the OD Ghost. You would have been burnout, and he staved it off just a little bit longer. Made him spend some more.
Oh, no, yeah, he didn't want to block after that standing heavy kick. He knew it was plus, but he just didn't want to block because he would be burned out.
Yeah.
Got burned out anyway, and so first round to DCQ.
Yeah, foregone conclusion. And DCQ is just, you know, firing the afterburners. He's going in. And we got to see here. I want to see the perfect parry boom game, because that's going to be very important in order to, you know, close the gap. But JP doesn't necessarily have to close the gap.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing that makes Guile so frustrated, because Guile used to rule the full screen game, you know, and then JP's like, oh, go ahead, I'm just gonna hit you with these not the Torvalon, the Tree Globs all day.
Yeah. Literally the spike course. He's like, what do you mean? Your projectile appears under me? That's ridiculous. Where's my boom, my ground boom?
Oh, okay, nice, and gets the back throw, of course, sends him to the corner, and even if you don't get, actually he did get a little bit.
Sets up the blade. Yeah, there we go. Take the throw. It's so scary. It's like, come on, press. I dare you. Ooh, he caught him jumping, I believe, and now DI, little cheeky stuff. He doesn't cancel.
No.
All you needed was an OD plastic, but now you're going to burn out. Oh my God, that was such a costly DI.
Scary, because once you're burned out, that's it. If DCQ doesn't drop this combo, that is...
That was a disapproving nod if I've ever seen one before. Like, that's one where you had, the round was in your hands. It's not the game, but getting that round against DCQ and saving the meter is a huge win because you can get a 50% lead against JP pretty early. If you're able to get to the corner, your boom pressure is so great because it just nullifies Amnesia. But now you're up against the wall. You got to think about this next game.
What you have to be worried about here is when you lose a match like that, where you're like, I messed up. It can cause a little impatience. So I feel like Falcon's already been kind of running into a few more of those, departure.
Needs to take a note from Tolkien. It's about the adventure. We'll get to the mountain somehow. Where are the Eagles at? The Falcons are coming. We're in danger. I never said you were the Hobbits. Oh, you're Saruman. We're jumping in.
All right, there we go. Dude, he totally is Saruman, actually.
Actually, yeah, that's what it is. That's crazy.
Oh, and you know what?
My goodness.
You're going to want to try to...
he dropped it again.
Oh, no.
Now you got to deal with this. He can go for a reset. He could potentially... Yeah, he's going for the curse stuff. It's so hard to block. I mean, Gandalf the Grey can't help. That was Guile the Grey.
I mean, seriously, that was like Frodo just getting right to the lava, ready to drop it, and then was like, no, I'm keeping this.
I'm keeping the ring.
Oh, man.
I'm keeping the ring. Give it to me. I mean, DCQ he should have one of them Street Fighter League wins.
That's true. That's true.
The one that rule overall. Oh, trying to go for Shiloh reset again.
The good awareness on DCQ's part to have that block right ready to go. Gets the jump in and the punish counter off the wall.
Dude,
and he's going to stay back there and just build up some of that drive gauge again.
And it's also about building up that level too. It's been, the main tool that DCQ has been able to close out these rounds, and that's where you think he's probably going to try to strike and finish. Great reaction. See you turn green for the check, the stop sign, and now the level 2 is there. You might just die here afterwards. Set the snap.
But yeah, there it is right there. DCQ is going to take it, and honestly, after he did that OD flash kick, like, he was down to 2 bars. I felt like maybe he should have just backed off and just started chucking some booms a little bit to try to get some of that drive gauge back to be a threat, because, again, shout out Syringe for the 3-bar threshold that he coined right there. Having that 3-bar threshold is so important.
Yep. And it's so important too. I think the hardest part about that, especially for Guile, and it's what makes the matchup that more difficult, is you're constantly a threat by JP.
Yeah.
Because of the spike, because of his ability to play the projectile game in a different fashion than you.
Yeah.
You're not awarded that opportunity. You're not afforded that luxury of playing that normal boom game. And that's what happened. Vulcan's like, what do? I can't throw booms. My upside down kicks are getting stuff. Gonna have to think about that in losers as we get to our next winners match. It is gonna be Prototype of Las Vegas versus Derezer.
Yeah.
Blanca Honda.
Doesn't have to travel as far as a lot of people, but Prototype has definitely been one of the Honda believers out here. And even before the season, I felt like Honda was a little underrated. But now, I mean, he's got some great get in, with the sumo walk into the palms and everything.
The 50-50.
Yeah.
Exactly. Palm into guess. Yeah, it's pretty dang nice. What a jump back, and you actually get the full punish.
Yeah. Good stuff there.
The thing about it too is being on Modern is going to be that much more of a threat because you're trying to Blanca ball and you're projectile versus projectile. Great anti-air ability here.
We remember last year, I mean, the Modern Honda that got the farthest in the tournament all the way like the 96. Yeah, 96 was Ultra David. So
I think we tied. Yeah. Oh, and the level 1 super, the Modern coming in clutch.
And that's the thing, is if you're fighting against a modern player, you have to keep that in mind. You have to remember that they have the ability to react to things a little bit easier than other, other players. You have to consider it like a different ism or groove.
Yeah, it really changes the head of your decision making. Your decision making has to be sharp in order to snuff out what the modern player is sniping for. And sniping, indeed, the level 2 is more than enough damage here. Perfect from Prototype. We got to see, the full damage from that super as well. He just did the input, and you got to be able to, hit both sides.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this is a character that is starting. I mean, we're starting to see get very high placings in a lot of tournaments. We've seen, obviously, like Hamad doing super well. Rickamans Barnett is another great Honda player. So this character is a problem now.
Yeah, and he's not going anywhere, all right? My goal, my dream is that we have a Honda specialist at the Rio Goku Geekon.
Oh, right.
Because it's just like, that's the land of sumo, and that's where the Blanca ball comes up a little bit short. Like, as soon as he sees you leave the ground, headbutt in.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So I think he's just been reading that D. Dresser is not countering after the headbutt with the right buttons. So he knew he could sneak in that jab, it looks like.
Yeah, only minus 3 in those situations. So
yeah.
You're a little risky to check, and you are out of risk, out of options.
It's
and
another perfect.
14 letters? Oh, boy. Holding 2 of those on the grand stage. That's how you going to learn today.
And I do appreciate that both players were sitting there, like, they don't want to, what are you standing up for moment right there. They were like, okay,
10-2 at all times.
Yeah.
You never know.
Got it.
There was, earlier we were watching in one of the earlier pools, it was Betty, and she had the Tokido stare going on until that super kill. It was pretty clear that, that it was going to kill. She was locked in, which is great. Like, that's the type of play that you need to have on display. You can't leave anything up to chance. We've seen too many people stand up a little bit too early.
Dude, there's just way too, you don't want to be the next, don't be the next statistic, you know, like, I mean, it's happened way too many times, too much history of people standing up too quickly, but you know what, if you stand up right now, it's not going to be too quick, you know, try to get a snack or something like that, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more Street Fighter 6 action after this.
This is the best Chipotle order.
I would like a bowl.
Triple wrap.
Mild, medium, hot.
Then dip it in here.
Sour cream inside the vinaigrette.
2 tortillas. If you know, you know.
Disappointed. Yeah, there's a lot of name versus character kind of like mix-ups in the Grand Blue community. Of course, you guys know, I want to say she's NorCal. Jita does not play Jita. She plays Eustace.
Yeah.
Who else? There's Criminal Activity, I believe, plays Gran. And I'm trying to think of a few other mix-ups that we have. I'm sure you guys can mention it in the chat as well.
Well, he's since changed his tag to Tortilla Flipper.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
My
mind did,
flashback.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my mind did not connect 2 and 2. Okay, gotcha. Okay. He's also in this bracket as well. I'm not sure if he's in this round of pools, but I know he's seeded to make it pretty far. And there are some potential upsets, right? You know, SoCal, NorCal, those are dangerous regions. You can never count them out.
Indeed. You cannot. Yeah, really, I would like definitely see some Ladiva action. Ladiva's one of those characters. Love watching her. Don't like playing against her.
That is how I feel.
That's that's a slow grappler life. It's always fun to watch the slow grappler, you know, weather the storm, to work their way in and then apply that strong offense with the command grab, make the big comeback with the SSBA, but fighting against it is exhausting, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone loves to see the hero's journey. Like, oh, the Ladiva is now backing for the first 30 seconds of the match, just waiting for the 50-meter to come back up until you can jump scare with ultimate lariat. Wow, so brave, so strong. And then you're like, wait, if I'm player 2 in that situation, and I'm locking down a character for the first half of the match, and all of a sudden they bust out, it's corner to corner, and now I'm 1 strike throw guess away from losing the game. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a villain. This is no hero's journey. Hold on now. Why am I dead?
I'm about to get robbed.
That's what I'm saying. So it's scary. So La Forma del Amor, we'll be seeing them in a little bit. AMP, you know, I haven't seen quite yet. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to do like a little soul read on the tag on which character they might play. AMP makes you think electricity, so maybe another Eustace. So we'll see. I was complaining about not seeing any zoners earlier on, and then we saw Insurgent immediately after, so maybe we just have to like manifest the character that we want to see next. I haven't seen enough Galleon, so maybe I'll manifest that. Some more grappler action.
I feel like if they're not playing Ladiva, I feel like Galleon is another fitting character.
Right.
Like, the character, of course, loves to spread the love around via her blessing. She kisses the screen on her opening cinematic.
Yeah, she's got the one-word responses, but you can hear the rest through telepathy. Like, you know, there's some form of love there, love of nature. Type stuff, but we shall see in a little bit. Is it going to be another Eustace? I mean, I manifested Eustace earlier. Who else would I want to see? We haven't seen any Normaya. We haven't seen a lot of the cast, to be fair. Right?
Yeah.
Seen a couple overlaps and repeats. But of course, there's a lot of pools action going on throughout the rest of the day. You guys are going to be seeing Lennox and Jay coming up in the next commentary block as well. So there's a lot of gamers here. Again, over 900 competitors for Grand Blue over at EVO 2025. I'm curious who you guys, might think is going to be able to take it home. I was watching Dudikoff and Saki doing their little review of the EVO brackets as well, and there are definitely a lot of killers that can make it into, if not that top 8, that grand final slot, right? So it's a lot of upset potential. I'm curious who you guys think is going to take it home.
Yeah, definitely let us know. Definitely curious to hear thoughts. I, for one, I always have to root for Totoro.
Yeah,
it's just,
it's true.
You know, he's made he's made grands at every EVO Vegas that he's attended. EVO 2022 back in the base game. Last year's, of course, got second in that, and of course, this year is the first seed of this tournament here as well. So maybe this is his year, but of course, there's plenty of incredibly strong, incredibly talented players. Maybe Gamera is able to have a much more historic run. You know, the past couple of EVOs, both EVO Japan and EVO last year, Vegas last year, didn't have runs that you would expect of a player of his caliber. And then on top of that, you know, there's so much incredible talent, both from NA as well as Japan here. We've got Fukunaga, we've got Jing, we've got Incendiate, we've got Elsa, Zane, BSG, Aaron Damac, of course, our EVO champion, Koji Koko, just so many incredible names here in this bracket.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see, because I know a lot of folks, you know, especially at the top level, I know Aaron and Koji have been like taking a little bit of a step back from Grand Blue and then grinding back up now that EVO season was around the corner. But I'm curious to see them now running into, you know, folks who have been like, you know, continuing to grind it out day in and day out. You know, folks like, you know, Char, of course, Ryazo, we're almost taking it for granted, right, that he's going to show up in these, you know, top 24s, these top 8s, where before it was like, oh, Ryazo was like, you know, jack of all trades, you know, just doing a lot of, you know, making a lot of high-level showings in many games, you know, but, oh, is Grand Blue going to be, you know, something you're actually going to be able to top 8, or are you just going to be a contender, a gatekeeper? And clearly, you know, showing, especially this year in particular, especially after that run at Arc World Tour Finals, like, okay, this is a contender that deserves to be in some of those top slots. So I'm excited to see,
Yeah, there was definitely a period, I'd say, around about last year where Ryazo's results were kind of up and down. Sometimes he'd have these incredible runs. Sometimes he'd go at like 33rd, 17th. But as you mentioned, from this year, he's had so many fantastic placements. He did really well at Slashback. He did incredible at the Arc World Tour Finals. And playing a character like Seox, especially in the current version of the game, very volatile character, explosively powerful, lots of incredibly strong tools. But, you know, one solid defensive read from the opponent, and that's potentially the round right there. The character obviously having that 14k HP and some pretty high committal options, but Ryazo really just makes it work.
Yeah, exactly. It's terrifying when you think, oh, I have Projectile Invul on empty hand. I have Ultimate Rekka to, you know, check you on your approach if you're a little bit too deep into your dash and you're not quite ready to react. But like you're saying, right, 11k HP, it's a little spooky. You're playing on the razor's edge at all times. You know, and of course, BSG, I think, trying to prove himself at EVO this year as well. You know, a lot of really strong placements in these top 8s, but never quite able to take it home. You know, but especially Vasaraga in the strongest state that we've seen, you know, in Rising as well, and he's been grinding up quite a bit as well, so I'm excited to see how far that run is able to take him.
Yeah, that was such a surreal kind of thing to experience, you know, coming off of EVO Japan, where we had 2 Vasaragas in that top 8. A1 Roke and Debagame, both doing incredibly well. And then the character gets the most buffed out of any character in that patch. By a pretty, I wouldn't say super significant margin. You know, characters like Beelzebub got a fair share of buffs, but it
like
was
a whole page of changes.
But it was really vast that was on everyone's radar, and a lot of people are now placing that character in top 5. The armor changes, the changes to the far medium, especially those in particular were so huge in terms of just how fighting the character is now.
Yeah, the mid-screen damage and confirms have like absolutely exploded from that character, where this was already a character that killed you for, you know, DPing in the wrong spot. I see a familiar mask behind one of these players, you know, behind one of these players' faces as we check our buttons real quick.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've never seen that man before in my life. He's not here at EVO, so how could he be up on the stand at player one side? Man, I'm curious. Of course, the button check means that the character selections are not quite final. I'm excited if we actually are going to see a Vikala, but I'm waiting with bated breath. Hatsune Miku is back up to the stand as well. Oh, Beatrix. Okay.
Such a tease. That's such a tease. You can't tease with Vikala and then pick Beatrix.
That's heartbreaking, man.
That's truly heartbreaking.
This hurts the soul.
Both in their Halloween outfits as well.
I know. You went all the way over to the Battle Pass bit just to not play the character?
You knew what you were doing.
I'm saying.
But yeah, we are getting our first Narmaya of the day, as you mentioned before. We hadn't seen one until now, but getting one here.
Yeah, she's not quite going to have a relink set of the EX stance moves yet, but AMP versus La Forma de l'Amor pulling up with the Beatrix immediately, just busting out off of the round start here with the L riding free.
Good tech on the throw.
Yep. Okay, and riding free catches you out of the skies, but off of the air block, yeah, tried to mash out, only to get counter hit with that close M.
Oh, gonna go for RSRC right there instead of going for an SPA route.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna be spending that RS, it's worth spending all the meter as well, but the 5U is gonna take the round.
Yeah, could have been a little bit more meter efficient there, some opportunities to link, but like you said, still finds the kill with quite the life lead too. Are we gonna stop the approach of the round start here? AMP, but okay, tries to go for the Setsuna, again caught out here. Swipe through EX Thunderbird for the plus frames. Easy out, walk up. Yeah, tries to go for a deep dash into maybe a late close L or a late throw, but either way gets back thrown for your troubles.
Another 5U coming out from La Forma de l'Amor. Really, really careful, yeah, can go for, go to the DP right there. Had he gone for any other special, that would have been enough, and that's gonna catch a delayed throw. Catch them off guard, La Forma de l'Amor taking the first game.
Definitely a bold way to seal out the round, right? Lots of things that ends up baiting, but the deep dash into SPA is what? Okay, so it clashed off of the Setsuna, and then he canceled immediately to JL, and he actually just did like the Rainbow Blanco ball all the way over to the other side. I've never seen that. All right, but toss into the corner from where you came. Let's see, how are we going to try and escape? Do we try and battle out with the riding free? Oh, not quite.
Able to still jump out, reverse the corner situation. Good DP coming out from AMP though. I guess the move flip, but no combo afterwards, even with the punish.
Okay, spot dodge on the Thunderbird, not trying to let you get away with free plus frames in the mid-screen. Again, sending it with the SPA, but gets DP'd for it. I think we could have just waited out the super.
Yeah, I think he'd already kind of input the, I want to say that was the Mugen Kagura parry.
I see,
already
okay.
had that already and able to parry the super as a result.
Okay, okay. Ends up working out. That's a round here for AMP. Oh, but amping it up with the L riding free. Could have gotten the counter confirmed, but still gets the knockdown.
Ah, no, not anymore.
Oh, okay, you're right.
That was one of the nerfs that Beatrix had. She can no longer counter confirm off of the L riding free.
I see, okay, okay. So going into the slash is the best that you can get for La Forma de l'Amor, but already down to 50%. You're stuck up against the corner. The flip puts you back into the mid-screen, but getting caught by a lot of these stray hits.
Yeah, those move flips are doing a lot of work for AMP right now. Gets a big hit, though. Ooh. And that's a Delta Clock hit. This is going to be maximum damage into the SSDA. Savior unleashed, 2 BP gone. If you're AMP there right now, you have to be very careful.
Up against the wall here, taking 20% extra damage. Yes, you have the 100 meter to try and bust out with UDP, Ultimate Transient, but instead just going to go for the, command dash.
The BC. Ooh, being patient, using the U Crescent Moon right there. Ooh, nice stackers into the throw, AMP evening the set.
There we go. One apiece. Definitely a scramble in the corner there, but able to survive to game number 3 now. La Forma de l'Amor, are we going to go back to what the namesake implies? We're hovering the Vakala, and I don't believe you. After what you did after the button check, wait. Oh, for real? In game number 3? All right, La Forma del Amor. Swapping on over to the Vakala. It was teased in the button check, but wasn't thinking we were going to see it.
Even getting the Owl Shrine stage, the Divine General stage.
Yep. And Hatsune Miku still chilling, very comfortably in the lap.
Shall we begin?
All right.
Battle 1. Begin.
Okay, send it out with the Ratsang gun. Ends up clashing with the Setsuna. An immediate Brave counter here to try and stop things. Ooh, overhead, but no pickup with the trap, though.
Big throw for AMP right there. Staggers, goes for the DP immediately. Doesn't want to hold that offense.
Okay, walk it out. We just want to stand right on top of the trap to make it tricky to find your escape.
Yeah, and you can see it like a difference in comfort for La Forma de l'Amor for this character comparative to Beatrix.
Yeah. That was a big drop on the flip as well. The fade away on the JM, I'm assuming we're looking for an EX flip in the corner, but still 100 meter available for AMP and also full on the BP as well.
Yeah, AMP just not allowing La Forma de l'Amor to get anything started right now, but oh wait, here comes the Dormouses.
Just send it.
Hit over and over again, and that's a lot of chip. Here comes a star. No chip from the star, but forcing you to act, forcing you to kind of block, and Getting clipped once again. Vicala for La Forma del Amor putting them on set point.
Yeah, that's a frustrating way to lose the round, right? It was kind of yours to take, but ends up getting BC'd out to the full screen, 4 or 5 fireballs in a row, but Star really ends up locking you down, right? That multi-hit just bouncing across the screen. It's difficult to find your opportunity to challenge, and we're challenging with the EXDP. It's set point, La Forma del Amor. How do we make our way back to the other side?
Lovely punish right there, making use of the 2-1-4U.
Yep. Okay, caught you with the L flip.
Backing off, of course, the Stars bouncing in. Wow, that was a nice chunk of damage right there. And just playing the zoning game, not allowing AMP to cover any of that ground, getting clipped constantly by these 2-1-4s.
Yeah, the Stars just keeping La Forma del Amor alive right now. Send it with the ultimate fireball, and one more Dormouse does the job. It's a 2-1 for La Forma del Amor.
Yeah, once La Forma del Amor was able to establish that longer distance, able to set up those cannons, make use of the Star and the cannonballs, then they really, really got the ball rolling. The cheese was theirs to eat.
Cheese to meet you, as they like to say, but slowing things down, right? You know, it's easy to be like, oh, okay, as soon as we had the Star, we were ready and we just like won off of good RNG, but also the patience to make sure that we weren't, you know, setting up cannons and then trying to go for, you know, an overzealous approach off something that might not give us quite as much advantage, whether it's, you know, sending out the single ball, or I don't think we saw any of the spike ball either, but, you know, just waiting for the opportunity to go, okay, it's my turn for the next 2 or 3 seconds. I have Star on the board. I'm pulling up.
Yeah, that's kind of a big important thing with Vicala. You have to be able to kind of react and play accordingly around the items that you get. And that's one of the most interesting aspects of the character. It's a very dynamic way to handle the RNG aspect of her. Very good stuff once again to La Forma del Amor. I believe we're going to be going into another break right here, so make sure you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Is what I'd like to... Okay.
And hot off the grill. For Chipotle heat with a touch of sweet and a perfectly balanced sauce. Chipotle honey chicken takes heat and sweet to a whole new level.
What's good there, gamers? Welcome back. It's time for our last couple of matches of this pools block here for Grand Blue at EVO 2025. So we got a round 2 qualifier here for you guys. It's Midas TOD versus Cloud Sonata up next.
Cloud, that's such a JRPG fan name.
Yeah, right.
You know, there's like, I just thought of like Cloud from FF7. And
that's what I'm thinking.
Eternal Sonata. That's like a classic 360 JRPG from back in the day.
Like something vague, like a character name, and then something vaguely like orchestral. Just gives very much like Final Fantasy vibes. Like if someone pulled up with like, I don't know, Squall Symphony, it would also go a little bit hard. That would be like the soulful mirror.
That would go hard. Locking in the Cagliostro and another Siegfried coming up as well.
Yep. Let's see it. First Cag that we've seen in this pools block here. I see that little pencil case of the Ida bag over there on the bottom side, but A little hard for me to tell who they're repping here, but I'm sure they're playing with their Oshi's heart on their sleeve right now as we check our buttons real quick. I'm trying to tell who's on the shirt as well, but it's obstructed by the lanyard. I'm sure I'll see in a little bit. I'm trying to show some love to the you know, folks that you guys are repping.
I'm not sure if they're going to be doing a button check.
Yeah, if they're letting the intros rock, then
I can't imagine letting the intros rock prior to a button check.
Yeah, right.
Is that an Earth Dragon?
Maybe they're just going straight on into it.
No. Snake. Still not the best playmate.
All right, they look locked in. Game number 1 here.
Midas COD versus Cloud Sonata. Very brave with that RS attempt right there.
We had the spot dodge ready on Cloud Sonata too, so kind of saved on Midas's side by that being out of range. All right, run up behind the slow fireball. Got level 2 rock on the side of Cloud Sonata. I like the challenge on the Rekka follow-up.
Yeah, particularly since it wasn't the H1, there was no combo afterwards, so definitely worth challenging there.
All right, send it with the Spike Ender. We got the double seals, but immediately, all right, the air one cleared out, only to get caught by the calculated, that spear on the side.
Light starter, even with the high health of Siegfried, this is going to result in a lot of damage.
Yeah, leave you with the sliver off of that extra BP taken. But throw is going to do the job here for Cloud Sonata.
I believe Cloud Sonata could have extended a little bit further using an RS extension and, of course, the Mayhem traps as well.
Yep.
Something like RS, 2H, Mayhem, and then the Link SPA, but still able to get the job done regardless.
Okay, just charging up the rock behind the trap. Let's see, are we going to bait out another fireball? No, instead just going for the forward jump JL. Get ourselves a little bit more space too.
To clear the traps, but that far heavy, ever present for Cagliostro.
Immediate DP on the run-up TP. No throw to be baited, but yeah, unblockable on the ultimate for Dragon.
Yeah, forget that is... It's a contender for the worst use skill in the game.
Yes.
And I think people kind of forget that it exists, and sometimes it just hits you.
Exactly. It's so bad it ends up being good sometimes.
Yeah.
There we go. Poked out with the 6XL here. Has the clean Raging Strike confirm, and we have the corner for a little extra damage as well. 50 for a use skill Ender, but you don't even need it. It's game number 1 for Cloud Sonata.
Yep. Still had combo to spare after that H calculated as well.
Right. Just a second to breathe at the rematch screen. Midas, how are we going to bring this back? Neutral jump JL here. Gets a light confirmed. Okay, TP back. Tried to bait out the DP, but it's like it's caught up by the L version here.
Yeah. The L version not having that invul, but of course very fast at 6 frames. Can crush a lot of options. Yeah. Nice conversion right there. Gonna go into the trap. No, just a little bit too far. There's the MDP to relieve the pressure.
Yeah. Triggering that last trap would have given us a little bit more time to get a cleaner setup, but now Midas off of the scramble. Going for the install super. We really don't see this a ton from Siegfried. Ooh. That's not going to stop you from getting cross-up TP. JL behind the back, and with the SBA to kill Cloud Sonata now on set point.
Just a little bit too slow on the anti-air attempt right there, unfortunately. And to be fair, Tag is one of the hardest characters in the game to anti-air. She's so many ways to adjust her air trajectory, so many ways to make herself elusive in the air.
Exactly. Speaking of, beautiful anti-air from Cloud Sonata puts Midas up against the corner, 50% HP, their winner's side life on the line here. Sniped out with a counter hit 2M.
Pressure so far, beautiful timing on that roll from Midas COD there, but gonna reset with the RS. Scary for both players now.
Okay, plays. Oh, but the untech time, not able to get a full confirm off of the trap, but it's okay. We find it here off the auto combo. Cloud Sonata with the 2-0.
Cloud Sonata looking very comfortable with the Cagliostro, just very familiar with the character, knowing exactly what they need to do, how to execute that game plan, and just applied a lot of really, really solid pressure once they got the ball rolling as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's tricky to get out of the Cagliostro Vortex, especially if you haven't really, you know, put in a ton of time against that character. We were doing a good job, I think, of clearing out some of the air seals, whether it was with forward jump JL or especially going for the fireball and then also running up behind it. But especially when we were in these close range kind of scramble situations, yes, we found a couple of good opportunities to DP out and challenge on the TPs, but otherwise, you know, Cloud Sonata was just keeping up the pace so trickly with a lot of the TPs. It was hard to find any room to breathe.
Yeah, and you know, some people half joke that Cagliosha is the best grappler in the game. The way
many
that
are saying this, yeah.
She gets a throw, sets up a trap, and then is able to kind of go for another throw very, very well. It used to be more relevant in the previous version where, you know, Fuzzies was still in the game, so you had to be careful of her going for like the jail into another jail into teleport. But yeah, even now she still has a very, very strong strike throw game with the tools that she has. This is going to be the final set of the block, and we have a doozy here coming up, folks. Another winners finals pools qualifying set here, and we're going to be having Jing, one of the best Catalinas in Japan, coming up against Zelshin.
Yeah, let's see it. So we're going to be seeing Catalina on that player one side. We're looking through the palette. Even if it is a button check, I'm you know, reasonably sure we're going to be having this Shoto versus Shoto up for our final match of this pools block. So we've been seeing a lot of rushdown versus rushdown, right? These infighters just thinking, okay, do I want to aggress or do I want to catch the other rushdown's approach? Now, you know, it's kind of two Swiss Army knives going up against each other, thinking, oh, okay, how can I just play the fundamentals, the fireball game, the spacing, whip punish game a little bit better than my opponent?
And the history between these two characters has been interesting because particularly throughout most of base game, Jita was seen as the better of the two, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Particularly towards most of Season 2, the latter half of it especially. Jita was one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah.
Early Rising, excuse me, as well.
It's confusing, right? It's like base versus base Rising. Yeah.
Early Rising as well, prior to 1.5. Jita, again, undoubtedly the better character of the two.
Powerhouse, yeah.
And then, of course, the tide shifted where Nia did receive a lot of nerfs.
Yes.
Jita received quite a few nerfs, particularly to her corner carry and her damage output and the safety of moves like Vorpal Blade.
Yes.
But then a lot of that was shifted onto Catalina, who had the best corner carry in the game, still has some of the best, you know, and off of a lot of hits. If you're not right in the corner, she can just take you from one end of the stage to the other and still continue the combo there.
Exactly. Where certain confirms, you know, at her strongest, right, ended up giving her, like, you know, close M links and pickups that just gave so much damage in corner carry. Now, with some of those being changed to, oh, you can only get far L, you're still 80, 90% of the screen on the way over, right? So the coast to coast are still things you have to worry about. Game number 1 here between Jing and Zalxian in this winner's side qualifier.
Good opening gambit for Zalxian so far. Good tech, however, on the throw from Jing.
Yep. To escape, walk back after the far L, finds the whip punish too.
This is what we call the old man spacing, just hitting buttons in specific positions in order to create the right spacing traps to facilitate that offense.
Yep, just trying to stay right outside of Jita's effective range. Even with the whip, you're still keeping onto the corner. Tries to send it with the ultimate skill, but caught out here by Jing once again. The ultimate fireball should do the job. We had so much combo limit left. We hadn't even left the ground.
Yep. Not until that light wall hit its mark did the combo limit even start kicking in.
Yep. All right, a clean round 1 here for Jing, but there we go. Catches the approach here on Zalxian's side.
Lovely whiff punish with the heavy right there.
Convert throw bait with a 5U, but nothing found. Content to down back until we find a far L opportunity. Ooh. There we go. Clean corner carry into the EX thrust.
Staggering with far L's. Such a good button. Catalina gets the pickup off of 6XL as well. Of course, the extension using most of the cooldowns. Going to keep the fireball one ready and gets the safe jab as well. That is going to be... Oh!
Yeah,
no, that should still be enough, I think. Going to get the corner carry here, get hit into H Enchanted Lands, and that is going to be it. Jing taking the first game.
There we go. It was a little scary. We lost the corner there, but it was like you mentioned at the top of the set, right? If you're not exactly up against the corner, Catalina, especially with cooldowns, with the resources, she has all the corner carry in the world to find that wall bounce and the kill.
They count it on the far light, gets an easy confirm into another one there.
Okay, disengage off the backstep from light wall, tries to take to the skies, but immediately caught with his counter hit 2H. Jing chewing through the HP.
Yeah, just incredible readiness right there from Jing. That was, I think, the first jump that Zalxian had even introduced.
Yeah.
Jing's so ready for it nonetheless.
Exactly. First time in the set, we're already ready to take away 50% for it, and now caught out here with the far M. It's a clean kill to put yourself on set point.
Yeah, of course, in the corner, you get that massive conversion into the massive link into the U Enchanted Lands, a ton of damage. Don't even need to worry about linking any of the normals. Another strong start for Jing so far.
Yep. There we go. We're poking out with the 2M. Full charge on the fireball, so it actually baits out the spot dodge. That's a lot of space taken here from Zalxian.
Slight delays on the H Vocal Blade, excuse me. Yeah. Wise to get the additional corner carry, but ends up dropping as a result. And now Jing is going to take you to the other side of the screen.
Yeah, these tiny mistakes end up being scrambles that absolutely flip the momentum of the game. Now you're 2 throws away, 1 strike as well. Zalxian with full BP, but doesn't want to get baited here by Jing. Sends it with the El Rekka.
Using that just so that it's a bit more difficult for Jing to just get an immediate whiff punish.
Yep.
And now also actually 1 solid hit gets Jing straight back into the corner. 1 solid strike will do it.
There we go. I like the delay on the jump in to try and bait out an immediate brave counter. Spot dodge on the ultimate fireball. Sends an ultimate fireball of your own with the 6XL. A little bit too far from the corner to clean wall bounce.
Nice spot dodge on the light will follow up, and that's a huge throw. And that's a lot of damage as well with the U-Fireball. Zalxian keeping themselves alive.
Here we go, Scary just playing on the razor's edge with that 1-touch territory HP, but you gotta do it again just to tie up the set. Jing still on set point here, poking out with the fireballs like we've seen the entire set.
Beautiful spacing, get another spacing trap this time off of the L Enchanted Lands.
Ooh, just runs in, that slight delay on the 6XL, catches out the startup here from Zalxian.
Small drops here from Jing, but still a very commanding round right there. The back dash is going to do it. Double it up for good measure. Perfect to close things off.
There we go. Saw a little bit of wind in the sails there from Zalxian towards the end of the set, but it's still going to be a clean 2-0 from Jing, qualifying into the winner's side of top 192. Now, Zalxian also making it to day number 2, but we'll have to fight the shark-infested waters of that loser's side come tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that they will. And I think that set was just very indicative of a more seasoned and experienced player in Jing. Just the way that he was able to play a lot of these spacings, the way he was able to whiff punish, the confidence of those confirms. Yes. I think that really made the difference. You saw a lot of Zalxian go for these like far heavies and then buffer the H Vorpal Blades behind them without necessarily finding the confirms. We almost never saw that from Jing. Every hit that was a confirm led to something.
Yeah, was ready for the hit confirm every single time, was not autopiloting it, right? And I think half of that, you know, ended up being the confidence after that first round, just being like, oh, okay, my whiff punishes just happen to be 1 step ahead. My spacing, you know, just happens to be right outside of Jita's effective range. We were seeing so many times where, you know, far L was spacing us out at that perfect 2M range that was not, you know, securing us these counter hits that were putting, you know, Zalxian into the corner every single time. But a valiant fight. It's another Shoto down in the loser's side, but there we go. Jing qualifying for that winner's side spot.
Indeed, indeed. Excellent stuff to all of our players. But I believe that's going to be it for us in this block. Of course, make sure you don't go anywhere. There's going to be even more Grand Blue action coming up in just a bit.
This is the best Chipotle order.
I would like a bowl.
Triple wrap.
Mild, medium, hot.
Then dip it in here.
Sour cream inside the vinaigrette.
2 tortillas. If you know, you know.
Lettuce, cheese, waffle.
Yes.
Oh, that is good. Let's see what else we'll watch. Let's watch the show, please. You know what, Dan?
And let's see if he's going to be able to bring them to victory.
I am so happy to see BK back and comfortable with
Oh,
Kyo.
yeah.
Like normally, he has ever since the last patch he has been like not trustworthy of Kyo anymore. But that's his best character.
Yeah.
He has always been playing great with Kyo. So let's see. El Kyo está de regreso también el Río, and of course Lajek is playing with no other than Kim Kapawa. We were asking ourselves if we were going to see some Kim today, and Layek does not disappoint.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, Taekwondo versus Kyoku Genryu Karate. Let's see what's going to stand the test of time. Where are you going to spend your gym membership for the karate? Well, we got
I exchange that for a burger.
You go to the Pow Pow Cafe instead, you know? I'll save my money on the membership. Go get some drinks with King.
I am over there with Raiden and Chang.
There you go.
Like, I know what I know what's my corner, but so far the corner is taken by Layek, and all of these trades have not been on the best side. Finally, he gets the opening, and this is going to deliver the kill with the big kicks. Justice has prevailed.
What? Kim Cop won all the way since Fatal Fury 2, his debut game, has been an agent of chaos. Like you say, a strong character in multiple games. This is one of the few games where he had a bit of a slow start, right? Didn't come out as strong, but through the many incremental changes in these patches.
Like he is not even close to some of those versions. But look at
we used to sit around a campfire and tell stories about KO13, Kim. Speaking of campfires, you are getting burned to a torch by the Orochi Nagi flame of Kyoku Sanagi.
Double Orochi Nagi. You love to see it. I told you, like that's his character.
It is, it is.
Like, and you love to see him being represented, of course. Goenitz, the man who is always searching Kokodeska. Where is him?
The religious man. The man who, in lore, is the reason why Kill knows the records. In between 95 and 96, he beat Kill's ass to the point we had to learn new moves, as we're going to learn the moves here with the super confirm off of the max mode. Into the corner, Layek sitting poised for success here, and it's very possible we can do this. No meter for both. Violent King and really have to close the distance.
You just love to see those jump catches as Layek is trying to push forward in the center of the stage. Finally, Violent King is able to deliver a hit, but not to commit, not to capitalize out of it. They jump in, great DP to control the air, but now the pressure is on and Violent King is trying to do something. The guard cancel is fantastic, and the tech from Violent King. These two guys are really playing on the highest level.
Yeah, it's slowed down. They were so good right there. EX Rekka through the fireball. That's how you get through them. Tornado is great for that. Violent King committed to the entire the Rekka string there for the knockdown.
Oh my God, he really is going to pull the trigger. No bar. Finally getting that one. And Layek feeling that instant that the command grab is coming, makes the neutral hop and delivers the kill. Oh, what a great match, man.
I honestly can't believe he was ready. It is. Oh, no, he tried to call out with a regular minute spike. Yeah, I can't believe he knew that command grab was going to come, having it scouted. Layek already 40% down from Violent King.
Oh, let's see. As the pressure is on, watch it with the guard. Finally spending the mirror in order to keep that pressure away. And little by little, Layek is hunting. That's not going to be enough to kill. But of course, it's enough to give Violent King a turn.
Oh my God,
like
Violent King!
He's going to die.
Yeah, he was getting too desperate there. Talk about DM, right? Desperation move. Trying to slide into DMs. The minute spike was averted. That is a religious man. He does not play that way as Layek takes the first game.
Love it. You
Let's
love
see what
to
else
see.
they have. Back to EVO Showcase. Back to the EVO Showcase. let's watch some Under Night.
It's pretty
good.
good.
But, you know, doesn't have a lot of defensive options. 2-2-C is not that good.
You're not supposed to use it as a defensive option.
It's kind of a defensive option.
No.
It's a good defensive option when you don't want to meaty them. It's a defensive option, in my opinion.
We're gonna talk about that later.
No, because if there's any reason why you don't want to meaty him, then 2-2-C becomes really, really good because it's plus on block, right? It's plus on block and immediately sends you up in the air, right? So any delay button means you're plus now.
Oh, you mean 2-4-C? The thing where he jumps and
Oh,
throws
sorry,
the
yeah. Did I say
you?
2-2-C?
Yes,
Which is,
brother, come on.
Okay. You're right.
You were confused. Like you said 2-2-C,
My bad,
and I was
my
like,
bad, my
does
bad.
he mean the blood prison thing?
I do mean quarterback C.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, thank
Sorry,
you.
2-1-4-C.
All right.
Not 2-2-C,
That
which is crystallized.
Yeah,
my
okay,
bad.
okay. 2-1-4-C is kind of a defensive option. It has no invulnerability.
Yeah.
He's off the ground like frame 3 or something like that.
It's very fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
So if you don't put a button on top of him, he jumps in the air, throws down some blood rain, and he's now plus. And he gets to run his pressure again, which is very scary.
Yeah.
So, like, he has that. He has EX command grab, which swap sides, gives him health back. He has DP. It's now a real DP.
Yeah.
It can also be safe at certain
All right,
portions
you know
of the
what? I
screen.
lied. He's good in defense.
Yeah! We
I
convinced
lied.
them.
I
We did
lied.
it.
I
We
lied.
did
I
it.
lied.
We did it.
I lied.
No, you tried to figure things out how to, you know.
I lied. No, I lied.
You were trying to downplay Carmine for some reason.
I'm trying to.
I don't know why. But
somebody's got to.
Why?
Because it's
natural order.
Don't check my bank statements.
I mean, if they checked our bank statements, they'd be like, "Damn, you guys are broke. We need some money." Which is why we need to play those ads real quickly. What? You don't want these ads?
No, I do want these ads, and we'll be back in just a moment.
That's the soundtrack of Chipotle.
Literally melt in your mouth tender.
Let's see our chicken glistening, our fajita sizzling. It's magic happening.
And this is gonna be in your bowl. This is it.
I won PlayStation's Road to Evo and went head-to-head with Arslan Ash.
I won PlayStation Road to Evo and battle against Sonic Fox.
I have never seen that in my life.
To compete on PS5, choose your game, find PlayStation tournaments, and register. It's that easy. Sign up for PlayStation tournaments for opportunities to win unique prizes and much more.
Hope you're not in a hurry because northbound is backed up all the way to 18th Street. And the southbound ain't looking much better.
This is ridiculous. Please, come on.
Are you one of them? You're here, but it's
Had enough yet?
No, Dad, not even close.
I hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule or die.
I'd like to propose a third option.
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good. I trusted you! Fire.
Ready to bleed? I am ending you. I see it all now.
Hello, Evo. Hope your Vegas has been going well. Thank you for stopping by. Everyone in the audience, the millions watching on live stream, thank you so much for being with us. So, for Skybound and Quarter Up, this is the Invincible Versus panel at Evo. And me, I'm Jeff Landa. I'm the community director here, joined by a good chunk of the dev team, a lot of the leads here. We're actually going to rotate the entire team in for the rest of the night. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to just start by introducing our actual panel as soon as this clicker works. Or next slide. Hey, there you go. So one by one, just real quickly, name, title, and some cool projects you've worked on just to give an idea to the crowd what you've done. Who wants to go first? Dave, you go first.
No way.
Oh, my God.
I'll go first. I see my face. Mike Willett. I'm the executive producer on Invincible Versus. You may have remembered me. You may have remembered me as the producer on Killer Instinct in 2013 at Double Helix Games. I was also your announcer in that game and the voice of Jago.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
Which one? In the cooking. You didn't know that? The more you know. People.
Oh, you're playing popcorn here? Don, please go. Please.
Don Waters, animation director on Invincible Versus. I was also the animation lead on Killer Instinct 2013. Loved working on that. Love to be here at Evo. Thanks for coming to check us out.
All right, Dave.
Dave Hall, game director on Invincible Versus. And on 2013, I was the lead combat designer on Killer Instinct.
Dan?
Hey, Dan Eder, art director. I was not part of the Killer Instinct team, so I don't feel left out at all, by the way. But yeah, art director, having a blast working on this game with the super talented team. So thanks for showing up.
Hey. Check out this man's Instagram. I guarantee you've seen work he's done before, and you love it.
It's all thought content. Bill.
All right. Nice to meet y'all. I'm Bill, the tech director here on Invincible Versus. I also didn't work on Killer Instinct, but I was at Double Helix for a long time. A lot of fond years there. Worked on Evolve, New World, a bunch of other projects. But yeah, happy to be here. Nice to meet everybody.
Bao.
Hello, I'm Bao, lead combat designer on Invincible Versus. I also got the opportunity to work with this fabulous group of folks on Killer Instinct 2013 as, I guess I was a senior at the time? I don't know, I was just doing shit, so. But yeah.
Making broken characters. Broken good.
Yeah, if there was a broken character, that was probably me. Yeah, I got shit for that, but you're welcome.
And I am Rip, senior combat designer for Quarter Up, and for Killer Instinct, I was the strategy guide author. That kind of counts for something, right? I met a lot of these guys out there for that.
Nice.
Most of you guys probably know me as a commentator here at Evo for Street Fighter or Tekken or Mortal Kombat or similar, and now I'm a senior combat designer on a fighting game, so it's cool.
So those are our panelists. Let's actually figure out who Quarter Up is, though, as a, next slide, as a studio, brand new studio. I know we've seen in the comments, oh, it's the KI devs, you just kind of proved that, but there's a little more to that story. Tell us what you've been doing since then and how the Quarter Up story came to be. Mike, you can tell us better than anybody else, so I'm going to start with you.
So I'm going to take you back in time, probably 13-ish years now. It's been a long time. So when we had shipped KI in 2013, Double Helix Studios got acquired by Amazon. And it was bittersweet because we were so excited to finally get our game, out to the world and play it with everybody. But then as soon as we did it, we had to let it go. And a lot of us still carried that torch, and we really wanted to get back into fighting games and combat games. And so a lot of us went different directions. Some people went to Sony, some people went to other studios, some people remained in Amazon. After shipping a couple titles there, I really had the itch, and I really wanted to get back to what we were passionate about, and that was fighting games and getting back to this community and this opportunity. And so I reached out to a couple people. I'm like, hey, if I started something, would you be interested in coming on board? And most of them were like, fuck yeah, like just tell me when and where. And so I had contacted some people, and at the time I had contacted Patrick Gilmore, and I'm like, hey, I want to start up another studio. And he's like, let me get back to you in 2 months. 2 months passed. He got back in touch with me and basically said, Mike, how would you like to pitch for a studio and a game at Skybound? And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And he's like, what is the first game you want to do? And I'm like, I want to do an Invincible fighting game. I want to do a tag battle fighting game. And really, like, our charter and our vision is we want to make every player look and feel like a badass. So as you can see, it's like combat, passion, presentation, like, and we want to be at the dead center of that, and we want to work with all of you to make something special and lasting. You can see people in the picture. We might be much older now in the live stream, but we really want to get back to that. We love the community, and we want to be a part of this for years to come. So that's really the genesis of Quarter Up, is getting back here.
But it's not just KI.
Not just
former
KI.
KI.
There's new blood, like
right.
Dan.
So there's a Rip, the most obvious new
Rip.
face. Dave or Bao. Tell a story about how you found Rip and managed to get him to join the team. Then Rip, I'd love your take too.
Oh, well, when we were starting to get software off the ground, some solid prototypes, we're like, hey, who are a lot of the people that we talked to that gave us like really valuable feedback that were highly trusted and friends of ours? And I'm like, what if I invite Rip over? I'm just gonna send him a DM. So I invited Rip over to my house. So I had to tell the wife and kids to split for a minute and hide the dogs, and Dave was over, and we anxiously waited for Rip to arrive. And I'd hooked up my PC to the TV in my office, and he walked in and he goes, hey, what are we doing? What? I'll let you take her there.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. I saw the TV, I saw Invincible, I was like, oh shit, Invincible, let's go, right? But at the time, I'd done focus tests for you guys on Killer Instinct and Breakaway, so I was expecting something that was like really close to being done. So when I first saw the game, I was like, oh, they're in trouble, you know? But then afterwards, I saw everything come together. I was like, oh shit, this thing's gonna be dope. So obviously, that's when I wanted to be involved in the project itself too.
Was there any hesitation at all of like bringing in someone that hasn't done traditional dev, or was it like instantly, yeah?
No, because the way Rip thinks is like a designer. Like the way that he thinks about player interactions, what's fun, what's not fun, and then also being so involved in like data and like, Rip, you have like an engineering background, right?
I have a computer science degree, so I actually went to school wanting to be a game developer way back in the day. So I got my computer science degree, I went off and did like really boring programming. I was like, this sucks. So then I thought that was my life. I was a commentator for a long time, and when I was at KI actually, doing the strategy guide, I kind of had the idea of like, maybe I should get into this, but I still never submitted a resume or anything. And there was Bao who actually DM'd me for this, and I was like, what is this job thing? 'Cause that sounds like me. And then he was like, do you have any experience? And I was like, no, but I know how to program, basically. And so, yeah.
I work with Rip all the time. Yeah, and he's a great asset to the team. You know, I mean, he knows fighting games. It's in his blood. It's in his bones, like the rest of us. And you know, he's a great designer as well. And just having the chops, the computer science, so he's slotted right in like it was nothing. And we worked with Rip for years. You know, KI. You did some testing at Breakaway. Yeah, you called Breakaway. We did. He worked with us on stuff at Amazon, and so and also Jeremy. You know, and we've always made combat. Yeah, exactly. And we've always made combat games. We even talk about too, like if we're going to make a chess game, it would definitely involve blood and punching and attacks. So, and that's why I love working with these guys. Bao. When they first called me up, Mike called me up and said, hey, we're getting the band back together. First name in my head was Bao, you know, and they were already talking to Bao, of course. And then when I saw Dave was on the call, and I was like, this is easy. I don't even care what we're making. We're just working on fighting games again. That's all I know. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Rip, one more question for you on the studio, and we'll talk about the build. I know we've chatted before about that moment when you like realized how different the dev side is, you know, kind of analyzing games and doing content for so long. Can you discuss that moment for you, what it was like discovering was, you know, having an idea in your head and actually putting it in the game?
You talking about the process of creating something versus just playing something?
Versus like what you understood before.
Oh yeah, I mean, I understood, you know, frame data. I understood, hitboxes and hurt boxes, but how they were all implemented in the engine was a process to learn. But then on the design side, like coming up with the kit for the character, and then how that runs through the animation team to actually decide what those moves look like and get that all polished to be what it is, and then plug that into the engine. Learning that entire process was like really fun and challenging for me. And I'm one of those kind of people who really likes a challenge. So it feels like everything I've done so far has been extra challenging. So, I kind of want to take a little break and like do something simple next time maybe.
Awesome. That's the team. We're going to keep telling some stories, but let's get right into the build that players can play right now or have played already. So we have 6 characters here. We have 3 stages. It's a best of 3 local versus matched. You're going to play all 3 matches if you go to our booth. We're supporting pad, stick, leverless. Let's start with the characters though. Probably just Invincible because we can't go through every single one. But I'd love if you can share that process of grabbing the source material. So maybe it's a question for you, Dan, Dawn, on the animation side. Taking the source material, having the kit that you want to build, and then making them come together. What does that step 1 look like?
I can go. I think when it came to the art style, or how we're gonna depict the characters in the game, there was a pretty long, what we call foundational stage, right? Where we look at the characters, we look at the source material, and then we think, what does the interpretive process entail, right? Like, how do we make it fit the game that we're making, while also being true to what Invincible is all about? So, we went through a couple of different iterations, and okay, do we want to go realistic? Probably not the right fit for the IP. Do we want to go hyper toon shaded? That's a possibility. Ultimately, we landed on what we have right now, which is a bit of a hybrid. It's hyper stylized, but also it's very bold and striking. And I think that thought process about the characters, it's not only about the art style, right? These guys, whenever they're starting a new, like what we call design document, it's okay, how can we sort of channel their personality through the stuff like moves, the taunts, intros, outros, VO lines, right? When you get to that character-specific interaction. So throughout the entire process when we're creating a new character, we keep that in mind about, okay, how can we make that an extension of what you know of the character, but one that players are actually going to be able to interact with. And I think that's something that you haven't, the show and the comics haven't been able to do because of the medium.
Don, was Invincible the first person you worked on?
Yeah, Invincible was the very first, and it's like you usually don't want to start with your marquee character in any project, but it was kind of like our proving ground, and it's like Invincible's iconic, it's the name of the show, it's in the game name as well, so we started with him, but I think the important thing, and the way that we maybe work from different other developers, is like we're super collaborative. The idea wins. That's the way we work. We're like zero ego. We tell people when we interview them too, it's like, if you got a major ego, you're probably not going to fit in here. And so it's really just about like, what is the best idea, and then what works. And then Mark, there was a lot of work, and like, again, because he's kind of like our base character, he's our entry character, he's a bit rushed down. And then it was like, so how does he fit within a fighting game? Like Dan was saying, his name is Dan. As Dan was saying, how does he fit within a fighting game, but also how do we stay true to the character? And so a lot of this is research, watching the show, of course, reading the comic, and then capturing just so many great poses, so much great reference. I've never had so much great reference in a game that I've ever worked on. And so it's really like finding iconic poses of Mark, and it's like you may not remember exactly where you saw that pose or that moment, but a lot of it's captured from the show, from the comic, and that way it feels like that character, even though it's in the confines of a fighting game. So we've done that with all the characters, right? Where it's like Eve's a zoner. But it's like, how does Eve as a zoner, how is she going to move in the show? And then what callbacks can we have to the show and the comic? And it's been an awesome challenge so far.
How many times have you watched the episodes over and over again?
So the whole show at least twice through, and then it's a lot of clips.
You have an actual answer at this is great.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, reference is huge. Reference is huge with animation in general, and especially with an IP, right, where it's like, we respect the IP. We respect fighting games. We respect you folks. We want to make sure that it's like, when you pick up our game and you start playing it, you feel the Invincible part of it, but you also feel the fighting game roots and the accessibility, but also the deep systems as well. It's like we're very cognizant of everything, and we're all fight game guys. We love fighting games. I've worked on fighting games since KI a lot of combat, but it feels so great to be back here working on this IP with this team again and the new blood we got, and to be at EVO. I mean, come on, this is amazing.
I don't know if this is a game director question, but obviously you're going to do Invincible, but how do you get to choose who the rest are?
Absolutely not.
Who gets to pick? Is it I'm guessing a team choice? Is it?
It's Mo. It's basically up to the executive producer who we're going to be doing, and it's up to the fans too, like who they want to see. There's something we always focused on. The most famous characters we're going to start out with first. So, yeah, we don't really choose. Well, we
Spoilers, really?
It's a negotiation.
It is a negotiation, yeah. And we want to make sure the characters are different enough in their style so that the play styles can really match the unique characters.
It's usually they suggest a character and I push back. That's usually
very
what
true.
happens.
That happens often.
And then I have to tie break.
So we're going to break down Rex and Beast more later on, but real quick, are there certain archetypes players lining up right now should focus on when they're picking their team?
I would say Battle Beast has some of the best buttons, including Thula. Like really just to touch and get a feel for things. So either like Invincible, Beast, and Thula I think are really strong for beginning players.
It depends on your flavor too, like what you're actually looking for. Like Invincible is definitely the most dynamic character we have. Bulletproof has the most mix-up options. Thula is just gonna fuck with people at different ranges, and she's got like the yo-yo combos. She's got a lot of stuff to mess with. Rex is mean. He hurts people's feelings. A lot of projectiles, traps, a lot of mobility, and Beast just powers through people's stuff. So it depends on what you're feeling and what kind of synergy you're trying to put together. It's a tag team, so team synergy is a huge part of that.
Yeah, I would say Beast is a good anchor character. He can come in and deliver damage. You don't start with him, you start with somebody else, get in fast like Mark or Bulletproof, but then Beast can then just do so much damage. So he's a great anchor. Always rely on Beast to come in and destroy.
So without referencing the characters you're currently working on, from this roster, who was the easiest to get to oh, this feels really good, to the most complicated?
Let Dave answer.
Well, we started with Invincible, and that took us quite a while to get to that one, but I don't know, maybe Battle Beast, he came together pretty quickly.
Battle Beast was the most straightforward, because he just hits people in the face with his mace. Like he's got armor, he just blasts through stuff. To Dave's point, Invincible was the most complex, it's the most difficult, because he's the starting point, and we have to make sure we have a solid foundation for him. And because he's a balanced character, we're trying to see what that means for our game. Because that could mean different things depending on the context of what you're trying to do. And Invincible, because he's so dynamic, we had to figure out how far we need to push things to really, really get the character to really express what it means to be an Invincible character in our game.
And I would say Thula for animation. I got to give a call out to the animators. Thula's really difficult because of the hair braid. It's a really cool thing, but we don't use mocap. This is all hand-keyed. We're very passionate about hand-keyed animation. All that stuff that she does is hand-keyed. Her hair braid, all that stuff, again, all the S-curves, all the beautiful motion, it's all done by hand. And so she was really difficult for animation, but also a great challenge. We're really happy with the way she turned out. She's a great character. She animates great. And as somebody without hair, seeing somebody that has hair with a blade at the end is pretty incredible.
You have facial hair now. That counts.
Okay, cool. I'm going to actually mention something that's not something you can experience here, but we're definitely working on it. Bill, tell us about rollback and why it's so important, and is this game going to have rollback netcode?
That's a yes. It's a hard yes. I know, rollback networking is kind of a foregone conclusion. This project, I'd say before it even began, right? It was in that original pitch doc that Mike talked about a minute ago. And it's worth mentioning, the KI team had rollback, really solid networking, all that knowledge. Our online lead, Brandon, on that project, carried that knowledge forward to Invincible. All the tech rebuilt from the ground up for Invincible versus. So it's it's integral to how we build a game, our tools, how we test. Because rollback, it's not easy, right? It depends on a lot of other things to be in place technically, like determinism, and it's got to be perfect. So it was one of the biggest pieces of tech that was invested on in the project at the very beginning. So it wasn't something we tacked on later, it was the foundation.
I think it's also worth mentioning, and people might not realize, like, we're a remote team. Like, we're not in an office together very often, if at all. So we're dependent on rollback netcode just so we can play together. So all the stuff you're experiencing or will experience, we're doing it in order to just build the game. So that's why it's critical that online works day one. Actually, before day one.
It affects a lot, like, as a team, like on the programming side or the technical side, tools, iteration time, all that stuff. We have a really technical design team. Like, they can get their hands, like the way we've built our foundation for how everything is implemented in the game. You guys have tons of flexibility, power, control over everything, and it's a lot of complexity, and the team they just pick it up and go. Like, it's a really sharp technical team, but they're super demanding. You know, shit's got to work fast.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't be stopping the game to go tune something. Like, everything's got to be live, sub-second, all the time, and so that was, I don't know, it's another big part of how the team works, and when we're remote, it's all that much more important. We can't go walk over to somebody's desk to fix a problem. It's just got to be quick all the time. So,
awesome. We'll come back to some gameplay for Battle Beast and Rex, but let's look at the controls. So before we go and talk about controls, in case you missed Maximilian Dude's stream, we already announced that we're going to support motion inputs. So yes, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're not playable now on the show floor, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. This is still incredibly fun, especially for me. I'm not very good at motion. But let's talk about the layout for a tag fighter, some complexities there, all the stuff you want to do with the characters, how you reached the inputs here.
So we actually started gamepad focused. We wanted to make sure that everyone who had a console would be able to play with a gamepad and get right into it. The big impetus for us, like, we always wanted to touch on motion inputs, but seeing like the reaction and the importance of it, we pushed it ahead and we're like, oh no, this is super important. So that's why we're announcing it here. Unfortunately, because of like the timing of getting everything done, we weren't able to have it on the show floor for everybody, but it's actively being worked on. The biggest things that we needed to make sure is that whether you're playing standard or motion, that you wouldn't get any desyncs online. We make sure all the UX is updated, that's so you know exactly what your inputs are per character. So all that kind of, you know, busy work and grunt work, but just to make sure all of it feels really, really good when you pick up and play it. So it doesn't matter if you're using a motion input or if you're using standard input, the game should always feel great when you play it.
And you can remap it however you want, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
whether
Okay.
in either style, you can remap it to the way that you like to play.
Yeah.
I think an important thing to bring up too is, like, feedback is really important to us. We work with the FGC all the time, and it's like we kind of go, we're saying to everybody here, like, we heard you, motion inputs, you know what I mean? So it just made sense to put them in. We wanted them too.
Yeah, and
you know, we're fight game guys,
I was
but
gonna
we
say-
we love feedback, we love hearing it, and you know, yeah. Sorry,
Yes,
what were you
Rip.
gonna say?
I was talking over you. I was gonna say, I remember when I first tried the game at your house even, it was motion input. So, you know, it kind of went away for a minute. And I think the biggest response I saw online about the simpler inputs for like the controller was just 8 buttons, right? So even when I was like developing and we were like when I tried on a stick, for me, I prefer 6 buttons, right? So going to 8 always felt kind of awkward to me no matter what kind of stick peripheral I used. So once we got the motion controls back in and went back down to 6 buttons, everything just felt way better for me.
But if you do not like motion, you like standard, this is what you're going to play here. I think that's and it's fantastic. I love it. What I was asking first was the thought process behind the standard layout. Like, all the things you want to do in the game, like, how did you, like, where do you start? You just look at a controller and like, oh shit, we got to do all this stuff. Like,
Well, I mean, it comes back to gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, so ergonomics and layout is it's a huge chore, honestly, because it takes a lot to work through. Finger positioning, like what makes sense for chords, like multiple button presses, how are you going to play, like groupings are a big part of it as well. So one of the interesting things that happened when we did go to motion inputs is we actually went from 8 buttons and we managed to simplify it or streamline it down to 5. But that felt off, and one of the things we did get from feedback was having dash as one of the options, as one of the buttons, was a good include. So we're like, okay, cool, like let's figure out where that lands. But honestly, it is an ongoing process. It's very iterative, and a lot of times, like Don and everybody's been mentioning, we work through a lot of this process with our focus tests, with our FGC and stuff like that too. And to be perfectly honest, we start off with like a lot of crazy ideas just to see what sticks, and we focus in on what is really resonating. We're like, cool, that's the basis. We start from there, and then everything else works itself out. And then, like I said, we just test, and we land on like what's the best feeling layout.
Believe we got to go to break, but next topic will be the actual defensive, offensive mechanics. So we'll pick up there. We'll come back.
Thank you so much. This panel has been absolutely amazing so far. If you've been enjoying it, then stick around, because right after this break, we're coming straight back to the panel and talking more about Invincible Versus.
New Chipotle Honey Chicken brings a hint of pure honey and seared smoked peppers with fresh chicken hot off the grill. For Chipotle heat with a touch of sweet and a perfectly balanced sauce. Chipotle Honey Chicken takes heat and sweet to a whole new level.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play.
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
Flawless victory.
And welcome back to the Invincible Versus panel here at EVO 2025. We've seen some amazing stuff, but trust me guys, there's a whole lot more on the way. So let's go ahead and hop right into it.
Hello again. We couldn't afford Dwayne Johnson, so I'm Jeff here with everyone from COTW. Okay, so we were talking about the layout, but let's talk about the real meat potatoes. The next slide, which is our, there you go, the offensive and defensive mechanics. So it looks like a lot. We're not going to go over each. It's better to experience this on the, yeah, that's fair.
Don't sugarcoat it. It's a lot.
I'm going to say it's better to experience this on the floor, but I do want to pick their brains about how they figured this stuff out. Some of the most important ones, things to maybe try first, or what you consider advanced. So let's dig into the offense, yeah?
Well, I don't want to come at it strictly from like the high level stuff first. I kind of want to start with the foundation. Like, we learned a lot during the development of Killer Instincts, understanding the foundations, how movement is so important, especially when we talk about character expression, player expression, and so on and so forth. You know, you could always tell a high-level player by the way they move, you know, in the middle of the match and stuff too. So a lot of those lessons we use to build the foundation of our systems across the board. And one of the biggest takeaways was trying to figure out how we apply lessons that we learned from a one-on-one fighter, you know, and how it can apply and fit in a 3v3 fighter. Like, that is completely different formula that we're messing with. And as we know, like 3v3 fighters, it's all about the numbers. You want those, you know, high-level combos, you know, see if you can TOD somebody, stuff like that, see if how you can convert things, how you OTG, like all that stuff. So, you know, one of the biggest takeaways we learned from Killer Instinct was how interesting the two-way interactions were for that system. And we wanted to see if we can find natural and organic ways to include some of those two-way interactions. So it's not just a, hey, you hit me, I have to watch you do this combo and wait for you to drop or finish it off. We want players to be invested in the sequence throughout all multiple different stages of the combo. So we've hit a nice sweet spot with the inclusion of the mechanics that we have. But to pick up and play, we wanted to make sure that the accessibility part was there, and it's just, you could feel it across the board. You could just pick it up, have fun, move the character, run around all over the place, launching characters, and just like have a blast with feeling like a superhero and such too. So I don't know if Dave wants to lean into any of this stuff, or
maybe just pick one, or if you to talk about.
Sure, I guess I can jump in for you. So yeah, I mean, we want to have our two-way interaction. That's one of our favorite things we have in our game. And so we approach that from the 3v3 perspective. Obviously, we've decided one of the big ones we put in there was an assist burst. It's probably written on there. I can't read it. Maybe it says assist breaker. But basically, it's like bringing in your assist to come knock you out, get you out of the combo, right? So, but there's a lot of different interactions with that. There's timers, there's cooldowns, there's boost meter, all sorts of things. And there's some other good ones, and Rip can go into them.
Wow. I was going to say that if you look at this, there's a lot of words on the offensive side, but 3 of them are just how to use assists, and then 3 of them just your active tag. So it's actually a lot simpler than it looks, right? But I think offense and defense in our game, it's obviously a very big part. The speed of the game really lends towards offense, but then we have defensive mechanics like heroic strike, which is basically like an alpha counter. You block something, you can retaliate with the heroic strike. It does cost some of your boost resource to do that. But the cool thing is that you can actually active tag off of it, right? So it really amplifies the amount of stuff you can do defensively in the game to get yourself out of bad situations. So whether it's push block or heroic strike or assist breaker or even counter tag, you have a lot of ways to get out of situations in this game.
Yeah, with our KI DNA, we're going to have a breaker. We're going to have a breaker somewhere in our game, or a few, so we had to have some in there.
But I think the interesting for me, like especially when we started to play it, was it's not just stopping the action, but having this ebb and flow. So if you're in a block string, you have opportunities to push block and retaliate with a super, but also you can do a heroic strike and lead back into an active tag, which can also lead to another breaker or a counter tag, and all of a sudden you can get all these fast reads and scrambles that make the game feel very fast and very dynamic.
Well, that was one of the biggest takeaways too, is we didn't want any of these defensive mechanics to be free. There's always mind games, there's always setup, there's always conditioning the opponent, and there's ways to counter or get around them as well. So that's a part of the system that we're trying to set up. On top of that, we really approached this from more of a free-form style of combat. So if you're pressing buttons, stuff's gonna hit. So one of the biggest takeaways we got from Killer Instinct was the inclusion of a meter that was our infinite prevention system. It's our combo meter in essence and such. So as you're dealing damage to the opponent, you're increasing this meter. So it's our visual indicator that says, once you get close to the end of this thing, if you keep going, it's gonna pop, that character's gonna fall out. But we have ways to get around that as well. So our boosted specials, our supers, one of the big ones we wanted to include was also our active tags. So actually active tagging your teammate in allows you to reduce that combo meter and extend that combo even further. So there's a lot of layers upon layers of interactions here that you have to play and experience, and there's no one completely necessary system for you to learn right off the bat, but it's something that you can pick up and kind of utilize as you dig more into the systems as a whole.
And this and the combo meter you're mentioning will all make sense once you start getting some matches in. You'll see the combo meter. It's not here, but before we overload the players or the folks in the audience too much, let's just give them some basic tips. So we assembled a few tips once there. Oh, okay, there you go. Just talk through a few of these. Tapping L is my favorite thing to do. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so we went with with regards to accessibility, similar to some other similar titles, just tap the light button repeatedly to do a light string followed by a special, and if you actually have enough meter, it'll automatically go into a super. We actually allow this to happen in the air as well as on the ground, so if you're just looking to push some buttons and have some cool shit happen, just mash light, just go into it. There's also magic streaks and so on and so forth, so just explore the buttons. One of the other things that we also wanted to emphasize is there's different ways to use your tag and your assist in particular. So tag often, use your assist often. This is a tag fighter, so if you have a character that's low on health, swap them out. Like, you actually replenish your boost meter a lot faster as well. And in addition, like we mentioned before, with regards to the combo meter, active tag is one of the best ways to reduce your combo meter as a whole and keep your combo going. So don't see if don't try to push things too far. If you have a chance to active tag and you're not being predictable, tag your character in to keep things going.
So when in doubt, mash light and tag often. But Rip, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the term active tag is a little bit confusing for some people as well. I think in other tag fighters, you can call your assist, and then you can hit the button again to take over that assist position.
That's
like
a
our
switch.
system is different. Yeah, exactly. But people get that mixed up between active switch and active tag. So I just wanted to be clear that we don't have that system, right? Where you can do an assist move and then switch to that assist character after they do their assist call. So that's a very different thing, and I think that our game is actually functions completely different because of our active tag system.
It'll make a lot of sense too when you're tapping light and then you do your assist and then it swaps over and then you can repeat that combo and then you're like, oh, okay, this is how it works. So
next topic is a quick one, but we wanted to touch upon it. It's the community feedback. So we've behind the scenes done some play tests with a few faces you might know. One sitting right there. There he is. And they've given us a lot of good feedback on their own. But
Hi, Jeremy.
When we finally revealed the game, we got a lot of feedback too, even without playing it. So what we already talked about is the first topic. Actually, no. The next topic is actually a new one. If we can go to it. Hey, so we did hear about.
Yes.
Hey, a creator mode would be nice, and we talked about it on Max's stream, but.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I think we're going to put it in our display settings, but it's a content creator mode. So it's yeah. We don't want anyone to get demonetized if they want to create content for the game, so it's just local to your machine. You're welcome. I see you, Michael.
It's for you.
It basically disables all the gross shit, right? So the overkills happen, they just won't have the chunks and all the crazy stuff or all the crazy blood splatter. There'll still be blood, but it's not going to be the gratuitous stuff, and there's not going to be bones and brain and shit. So, record away. It'll be with the game.
And the goal is local only, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. You won't affect the person you're playing with. They can go ahead and have all of that glorious blood.
Cool. And then the next topic we talked about. Yeah, that's the one.
We talked about it, but at least now they can see it.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
This was highly requested, so we pushed this forward for motion inputs. And the interesting thing here that we really focused on was the escalation of your inputs. So your specials, your boosted specials, your supers, you do the inputs and it escalates like the power. So all your standard specials are using light, all of your boosted specials use medium, and all your supers and your alt will use heavy. And then for boosted dash, it's medium and heavy. For throw, it's light and dash, and for your assist breakers, it's dash in either one of the assists if you have enough meter and you have an assist available. And then I believe it's snapback is heavy and assist too.
And so you've been playing motion inputs with Max today and through our private Discord. So it's still a work in progress, right? It's not final.
Yes, it's in a prototype, and we're moving our way out of prototype phase, and we love it. We think it's fantastic. We think it's really fast and incredible. So we're going to continue to push on this, and it's going to be in the game. You guys got it.
All right. Oh, it's almost no. Okay. Let's share some gameplay. Let's dive into Rex, but let's play his trailer first.
Seriously rethinking my resolution to be a better guy right now. Come on, action! Bring in the heat! Got something for you! Eat it, jerkwad! Hey now! Roll out the Rex carpet!
Stand aside!
Careful! Hey now! Keep the change!
Jeff, just to be clear, there is no content filter for Rex alts. At least the words. You got to hold that.
Rip, I'm just gonna let you take over because this is your story to tell.
Yeah, we'll let Dan talk about the art progression though.
Oh yeah, or you guys can tag team this one.
Yeah, so I think with Rex, he's like he's a fan favorite for sure, and for good reason. He's this massive goofball who just doesn't, no one takes seriously, and he doesn't take anything seriously. So when we got to him, we're like, okay, how can we differentiate him both visually, but also in terms of personality and motion and movement? And obviously with Don and the animation team, that a lot went into how can we make him feel agile, but also sort of unpredictable, right? Because that's who he is as a character, and we wanted that to be reflected in his kit. And then on the art side, we, as always, we always go back to the source material, and we say, okay, how do we sort of lean towards the show and take some cues from the comics as well, but also make him feel vibrant, right? Make the shape language sort of read from a distance. So I think it goes a long way, both in terms of getting a good visual on the character, but also gameplay, right? Like gameplay readability is key, and we wanted to keep the clarity there very, very strong. So when it came to the model, our lead character artist Peter Straub did a great job, really sort of defining, okay, how detailed do we take his costume? Obviously, we have some creative liberties when it comes to approaching characters that already exist and kind of doing that translation effort, right? And there's a few characters before that, Beast is one of them, for example, where the show design doesn't necessarily make sense in terms of something that you would expect to animate properly in a game. So we look at stuff like his batons, right? The stuff that he actually uses as an explosive. And how can we make that sort of be attached to his body in a way that is going to feel like it's not just sort of tacked on, but it's part of his design and also part of his kit, right? Because that's what he uses. It's not just a cosmetic thing. So we're always looking at, okay, what is quintessentially Rex? How can we depict that in a way that the player is going to pick up on very quick, while also channeling his personality through and through. And I think with Rex, we kind of noticed that the reveal trailer for him was very well received, and I think for good reason, because he's just such a different character, right? There's something about him that you just get, you love to hate him and you hate to love him.
He's an asshole,
he's
but
dick.
He's our asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got heart.
Exactly.
I'd like to talk about animation just really quick too about him. So like, in animation, we tend to think of like, you kind of bring it down to its base essence of who a character is, And if you think about Battle Beast, he's very staid. He knows he's going to destroy anybody. He's just looking for the best battle. He doesn't need to overextend himself, and so his energy is very centered. It's very calm. It's very relaxed. And Rex is the exact opposite. So we want at a glance, like, if you think about an energy, Beast is very low energy, ready to, just wreck at any second. Where Rex is very much more energetic, and so just at a glance, you're just going to get a sense of that energy between those two characters, and that's what we think about all of our characters, like intensely, think of like at a base level, what is their energy, and how do we convey that?
No, yeah, without a doubt. And I think, obviously, Rex for me is the first fighting game character I've ever designed. So if you guys love it, then hit me up on Twitter.
Great job.
And if you guys hate it, don't talk to me. But I will say about his gameplay, one of the things was, in the order that we built the characters at least, there was a lot of flying characters, and this is a character that's not a flyer character. So we kind of approached it in terms of how do you address his mobility to kind of hang with them, right? So one of the things I asked Dave immediately, I was like, can I give him a wall jump? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. And I was like, can I give him a run? He's like, yeah, sounds dope. I'm like, okay, off to the races, really. So that's kind of where he started, essentially, right? Because we knew he was going to be a projectile zoner because he does so much tossing and projectiles in general in the show. So outside of that, there was really amplifying the mobility, right? So he's got this flip move that gives him extra mobility in the air, plus the wall jump, plus the run. So he's got a lot of mobility that really keeps him in line with the flyer characters.
Personal question for you. I know we talked about it before, but having designed a character and then having it revealed to like some of the creators we brought in, and then just them discovering it that you made it, what was that moment like for you?
I honestly kept it secret from a lot of the creators. I didn't want them to know. But the cool thing was, we took it to Combo Breaker. I had Sonic Fox play for a minute and didn't tell him it was mine, but at the end it was like, Rex is the best. I love this character. I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We got some clips lined up for you to talk through. I don't know what order they're in, so just play them and kind of narrate.
Sure.
We play the first one. Should be next.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the clips are about his mobility options, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll show his run options and what's in there. Maybe some
There
of
you
the
go.
zoning. So here you're seeing that's his forward clip there. That gives him extra mobility. Sends him forward to there. He can also attack after it. So just like that, you get that down attack. The boosted version actually has invincibility, so you can treat it kind of like a DP. So if people are pressuring you, that's your get off me sort of tool. Which obviously, if you're kind of any kind of Shoto character, you want something to get off you plus your zoning, right? So those two things together really put them together.
Do you want to play the next one?
Yeah, we just run through the clips
Okay,
in
got
order,
the next
and,
one.
You know, as they're playing, I'll just talk through them. So I think right here, we're looking at Rex. He's got some distance. This is his projectile. And because we had a lot of flyer characters, I let him angle his projectiles, right? That's something we didn't have in the past as well. So there are characters flying above all the time. I was like, he's got to be able to throw something up there. So that's what we dealt with that. This is his run you're seeing here. So that was the running slide he had. And so out of the run, I was like, okay, let's give him some kind of a mix-up here. So he's got the running low, which is the slide, but he also gets to mix that up with the running overhead.
Oh, we'll go to Beast in a second, but was it tricky, this for the team actually, was it tricky having a character with his type of projectiles, or was that a new experience for the roster you had so far, or?
Well, Eve already had some projectiles, right? So Rex wasn't the first zoner, but then I think just the fact that we could angle the projectiles changed a lot of it up. And also, if you boost his projectiles, they can stay on the ground, which was, you know, technical things that we hadn't really implemented yet. So setting up those kind of traps, essentially, was something that we still had to develop and figure out along the way. So the projectile system, you know, is something that has evolved as we develop the character.
For anyone who hasn't played Rex yet, anything you want to tell them before they choose Rex on the show floor?
Throw a lot of projectiles, do some flips, jump off the wall, hit him with the running mix-up, boost the projectiles, and definitely taunt. Taunt is definitely the best. He's got the only taunt that attacks currently. Maybe we'll have another one later, but it's a cool taunt, and it overkills, which is awesome. I like that person. I can't see who it is, but I like
Biggest
that.
fan here. Let's do Beast next, so we're going to play that trailer in case you missed it the first time.
Finally, a worthy adversary. Come to me. We're not done yet. We are not finished. Come now. Too weak to live. Consider this mercy!
So Bao, I think Beast is yours, but obviously Dan, I know you have a hand in the art, and Dawn, please. So same idea here. Talk us through building Battle Beast.
Oh my God, Battle Beast is such a badass. His, I think when we started working on him, I got giddy with excitement because A, it's our first non-human character, and B, well, unless you consider Viltrumite non-human, but not human appearing. And B, I think the fact that he had a mace is also is something that made him immediately different. And I think just in terms of how we kind of take what you see in the show, which is obviously a very well-designed version, and sort of make it feel organic and fluid with his braids and his hair. There's a lot to play around with, both in terms of the, you know, how we construct the character model, but also ultimately how he's gonna animate. And I think there was so much that went into the design, and we had to make a couple of changes, right? And that's kind of alluding to what I mentioned before. If you look at the versions, like the belt, for example, certain things we had to think about, okay, how is that gonna work for a game? And can we take some creative liberties? Thankfully, we work with the creators pretty closely, and they're open to that kind of stuff as long as it makes sense, obviously, and it doesn't betray the character. And I think this is a different take on Beast. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities, but I think the motion that he has is so weighty, and the actual character design is so massive and intimidating, that I think for a lot of people he's going to be your go-to, especially if you like larger characters. You're going to gravitate towards Beast, and it was a pleasure working on him, and I hope we get to have more non-human characters. Who knows?
Shh. Real quick, you said the creators. You don't mean our creators. You mean like literally the people who made the thing.
No, it's definitely God.
Yeah.
It's
Robert, Corey, Ryan.
He's around too.
Yes.
It's important to make a distinction that we work really close with Robert and team, and they have a hand in it. They're not like far off reviewing it. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, just barely a little bit about that process and like how that helps you make your decisions?
I think the biggest privilege that we have is that we're part of Skybound, so we have direct access to Robert, Ryan, or Corey, and they've been instrumental in defining our art style and being a part of our process through and through. Even now, I don't know if you guys know, but last week we had a cover variant for Beast for Comic-Con. Just really
Lucky
cool.
gentleman
The
in
guy
the
over
audience
there,
is 1-1
check
himself.
it out, yeah. Robert and Corey and Ryan were fully involved in that version and making sure it shines, and that it's a different take on Beast, but one that still feels like Beast, right? So for us, that is an immense resource, right? Because we know that they're gonna chime in where it matters, but they're gonna let us do our thing because they ultimately it's a collaborative process, and they feel like they can trust us with the IP, which is the biggest privilege that you can have as an artist and as a game dev. Taking an IP like Invincible that we're all super passionate about, and the creators letting us do our thing with it, because they know that we're not gonna betray the characters in the world. That is the biggest compliment we can ever get. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I think moving forward with other upcoming characters, there's gonna be more of that, more involvement and more sort of, where do we find that sort of, special sauce when it comes to the character?
Don, any animation stories you want to talk about with Beast?
The cool thing about Beast is that he has a mace. We're making a Melee game and he's got a mace, and so and it was not an option to take out the mace, right? So it was really cool. Well, how are we going to figure this dude out? And it was super fun to work with design. And again, we're super collaborative team. So it's again, best idea wins. But we talked a lot about how to make Beast work within this game. And then, as they were saying about Kirkman, and having access to Skybound, it's they understand about interpreting a piece of art into a different format. So going from comic to show, it's not going to be the comic, it's going to be something different. And they're fight game guys too, so they understand interpreting then the show and the comic into a fight game, what that means. So we need that room to do what we need to do. And they've been great partners and always given us great advice. And again, Beast he's just awesome, right? He's just a great character. He's just a cat who wants to kill you, which is just awesome.
Like every cat.
Yes, like every cat. He's just like every cat on the planet. But he was super fun to work on, and most of the animators, he was one of our earlier characters, worked on him, and so it was great for all of us to collaborate and just come up with an awesome, version of Battle Beast.
All right, Mal, we're gonna play some clips. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I did want to add, with regards to the collaboration aspect of it as well, was they're also very involved in the gameplay side of things. So we take stuff from source material and we try to figure out how that translates into gameplay. And that's not always really a one-to-one, especially with, a lot of stuff we draw from is moments in the show or moments in the comic and stuff, or moments that happen anywhere, whatsoever that we could draw upon. And a lot of times, there's gaps. We're okay, what does normals look like? What are the specials going to look like? So sometimes we do take some creative liberties, but at the same time, we actually actively work with the creators, say, hey, does this make sense? Can we push some boundaries? Can we try out something new? And it's been an awesome experience because for the most part, at first they were a little worried. They're I don't know. But then once they saw it in game, they're holy shit, that works, cool. And then we started building the rapport. But we always have, like we mentioned, this very collaborative spirit. There's a lot of back and forth. So if there's ever any time like we go too far, like, you know, Battle Beast blowing bubbles or something like that, they're like, I don't know, that might not fly or something like that. But for the most part, it's been a great process.
Thankfully, that never happened.
No. Well, let's look at some gameplay.
Cool.
I think we have 3, so let's start with the first one. Just talk me through this.
So that's Battle Beast. He's holding his mace. He's looking very sternly. Yep. So that's the Super 1. One of the greatest moves in the game. It has a lot of armor right off the bat. Plows through a lot of other attacks. It's great to call if you anticipate your opponent's about to call an assist breaker. In the same vein, that's his boosted special 2. His special 2 normally travels forward and does a double hit, but the boosted version hits multiple times. So you guys are powering through stuff. And for those that are familiar with Marvel vs. Capcom, Sentinel, Pan, and Hagar Pipe, definite inspirations for Beast jumping down heavy. So if you ever have any questions, do that move.
Big fans of the mayor of Metro City.
Oh yeah, we love the mayor.
You mentioned he has armor. We showed that. I want to talk a little bit about the armor.
Yeah, so one of the things we wanted to get across with Beast is he wasn't a mindless combatant. He wasn't just berserking through stuff. He was very technical in the way he fought, and he has technique and stuff. So we wanted to get that across with some of his moves. So with Special 1, he actually does like a parry, and we got that across by applying armor during the first portion of that move, and then he counterattacks and such too. But we also want to get across that he's pretty much an unstoppable force. So on that note, several of his specials actually include super armor during the first portions of the boosted versions of the moves too. So it's a big part of his kit. So I remember early on in development, people were saying like, is he really that good? I don't know about, where he's going to fit in the roster and stuff. But once people really start to understand how powerful armor can be, like he quickly, flew through the ranks as far as favorites and such goes.
And we're going to play him real soon. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll also play.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. And yes, everybody, we are heading to a quick break. But listen, there is more Invincible Versus on the way. So please stay tuned. We will be right back.
That sizzle, that's the soundtrack of Chipotle.
Literally melt in your mouth tender.
I think that's it for me. I've seen enough Evo for today.